Okie dokie. I will drop a marker here. Welcome to BROCTOBER Part 2. Of course, BROCTOBER Returns, the sequel. BROCTOBER Strikes Back. I'm not really sure what we're doing here for the name of it, but I can just make it up all the way. Braska is Yuna's dad. I believe so, yeah. Yeah, the previous prophet Braska. Love that dude's vegetables. Here is how it stands so far, according to our community ranked vegetable tier list. We have artichoke. Now, these are all alphabetically organized. We haven't quite gotten to organizing these according to, like, how they rate. Like, is a bell pepper better than butternut squash? Is a jalapeno better than garlic? We'll do that right at the end once we have all of, like, the tiers populated. Then we can start doing, like, is leek better than beets, you know. But first, to go through what we already have ranked quite a bit. Welcome back, Ewan. We've talked about artichoke, broccoli, bell pepper, butternut squash, jalapenos, garlic, cucumber, corn, carrots, and mushrooms being S tier. You know. Yes, it's I am like the Electoral College mash. You tell me who you want to vote for, and then I may or may not listen to you, really. I don't know. I kind of go based on vibes, mostly. The A tier, so that's S tier. Mushrooms are S tier, carrots are S tier, corn's S tier, etc., etc. A tier, arugula, asparagus, bell peppers, green. Now it says, just above that is bell peppers good. That's just orange, yellow, red bell peppers. Other colorful bell peppers belong there as well. I don't know if anyone's ever had a purple bell pepper, but they do exist. Isn't that interesting? Now VeggieTales is swirling around your noggin. My brother used to love that show. Bell peppers, green, Brussels sprouts, eggplants, cauliflower, collard greens, and cabbage joined the Great Cauliflower Collard Coalition of 2023 to raise themselves above lettuce leaf green up to an A tier. Because I said, I don't know if I would put cabbage and collards below green leaf lettuce. So the collard fans, the cabbage fans, they binded together to raise themselves up. It was a beautiful moment of community. Hello, Ziff. Good to see you. Finally, rounding out the A tier so far, we have green beans. Then on B tier, we have some interesting textural things I'm noticing. Bamboo shoots, bean sprouts, beets, things with limited applications. Like, I think there are less applications for something like beets. Celery, green leaf lettuce, and leeks. In C tier, which is our lowest tier that is actually populated so far, we have lettuce, iceberg, and romaine. I have to tell you, I'm very biased against romaine because there are so many of those romaine, like, the romaine lettuce has got E. coli on it again. It's like, how could you do this to us, romaine? And then kale, rounding it out for the C tier. No D tiers, no F tiers. I have put parsley, coriander, aka cilantro, in the these are herbs, dude, tier. And the community put ginger in the these are herbs tier, because we don't primarily sit down and eat a whole bowl of ginger. You eat ginger seasoned things, so we're gonna keep that for another discussion of, like, herbs and spices and flavorings tier. Then for the things that I haven't tried or the community doesn't know much about, we have lotus roots, radicchio, bok choy, and okra. There's some strong feelings about okra, but personally, because I haven't had it, I don't feel comfortable putting it on anything lower than a B, to be honest. I can't personally do that, knowing how much it has survived, intercontinental travels, resistance to westernization, all that stuff. Its state of being itself is very impressive to me, so I can't really rank it so low, given all that it has surmounted. So it's going and never tried until I try it, and then I will let you know what I feel about it. Ziv, you're popping in to say hi, telling me that radishes are S tier. Okay, I will try to put a S tier vote in there for you. And that's not Romaine's fault, that's capitalism's fault. It is just wild to be, well, how can we grow everything else? How come all the other lettuces don't get poopies on it, you know? Has anyone ever just tried chomping on a whole ginger root? Probably, yeah. I'd imagine. Okra varies a lot depending on how it's cooked. To be fair, who is out there, I think maybe lurking and listening or couldn't make it to the start today, and many of you, actually, I want to do this not just for To Be Fair's benefit, but for everybody's benefit. If we want to talk about our favorite preparations of vegetables, that would make me super happy. You can talk about the ones that we are going to discuss today, or if something jumps out to you, like collards are my favorite and here's how I make them, or like beets are my favorite, or like y'all are doing lettuce romaine, you know, bad, and here's how you should prepare it so it doesn't make your tummy hurt, you know. If you're a big kale fan out there, tell me how you like it. I will, Mars. Now that I think of it, I'm just going to upload an image of dates and put them on S tier again. Because they are very culturally important, IMHO. You love crystallized ginger, do you? I hear ginger is great for motion sickness, for morning sickness. Like, for pregnant people to have. My mom used it back in the day when she was pregnant, and then... my cousin just used a whole bunch of ginger for her pregnancy as well. So Mars, here is your Whisper of the Ocean. I'm gonna get you the one right off the top right here. It says, Mars, oh, ginger nut biscuits are good for dogs who travel by car. Interesting, I'll have to look into that. Your card is Replacing What Was Lost. You have the beautiful bright pink starfish. Very magenta, that gorgeous starfish. It says, you now have the opportunity to rejuvenate and start anew. Create with a new perspective or outlook. This card may also indicate that abundance is on the horizon, Mars. Keep an eye out for that. It explains why I'm so spicy. Because my mom had ginger when I was still in the womb, I guess, yeah. Yeah, ginger is great for nausea, so what a great herb and or spice and or flavoring. Sadly, we cannot rank it as a vegetable because it just doesn't seem to fit with community standards. So. Oh, it's not great timing, Mars. Is that so? I'm sorry to hear that. But it does say, aside from the replacing what is lost, it does say you can now create with a new perspective or outlook. And maybe there's something good on its way. But I'm sorry to hear that the idea of replacing what is lost is not good timing. I'm sorry for whatever you have lost. If you want to share it with us, that's fine. But if you feel less comfortable with that, you can just hang out and tell me about what you think about onions. Which is where we're going to start tonight. We're going to be discussing onions, olives, radishes, of course, visit. Pumpkins, potatoes, sugar snap peas. I'll get to the ones that don't have labels. Most of these are labeled, but the ones I uploaded don't have text over it because I didn't have time to put text over it. And they were community suggestions. Of course, we have the olives, which are coming up soon. And at the very end, we have some spicy peppers. Like, these are cayenne peppers over here on the far right. Next to that is red and green chili peppers, then habaneros, and then shishito peppers, which the community told me about. So, yeah, thank you for all those hugs in the chat for Mars. I appreciate that, y'all. Send in some love that way. Hello, Gaming by Pharaoh. Kale chip sounds like something you only try once. The people who like kale really like kale, and a lot of the homesteaders I watch grow a lot of kale. Granted, they feed a lot of it to their chickens. I don't have any chickens, so. Onion is S tier. Yeah, let's get to the, you'd say kale, no? Let's get to the poll, shall we? Let's start off our votes. You got 2 minutes to weigh in. As A, B, C. Now, if you think onions are D or F tier, you can specify that in the chat, okay? But they're crispy like seaweed. Interesting. You got tired of kale because your previous job would serve massive amounts of it every other meal. Were you eating it like raw, or did they at least cook it? Well, there you go. You know, my brother used to eat dried seaweed like nori, just in like sheets of it when he was trying like an alkaline diet or something like that. He was trying to isolate his diet so he could figure out what was giving him terrible stomach reactions and stuff. Wow, we have 2 D and F tiers, 4 S tiers, and 2 B tiers. I'm very surprised by this. Onions are S tier, so yeah, same here. You don't like the taste of onion. It makes you gag. You can't get past it. Fascinating. You wish you could use onion more. The chopping is a little rough for you, but you miss it. They do have bags of frozen onion if you want to make, you know, sauteed stuff. I don't know how well it works for fresh, but I do see bags of frozen onion at the grocery store. I have bought them because if I'm doing a lot of prep work, sometimes I don't want to chop a bunch of onions, you know? It's not in your stores? That stinks. I'm sorry to hear that. I can't believe they're not putting... They even have peppers and onions mixed. It's great. Kind of ambivalent about them, Mash. You like them, you have them often, but they're just onions. They're everywhere. But the humble onion. The humble onion. They do add a sweetness, a spiciness, a heartiness, a umaminess. I love them. Sometimes fried onions can be slimy and icky. Is that so? You can only think of a small handful of recipes you don't include onions in as the base, right? I feel like it is kind of the crux of much cooking. So, 5 votes for S tier, 3 votes for B tier, 2 for A, 2 for D, none for C. With, let's see, that would be... It's definitely skewing S or A, but... I'd love to talk about our applications of onions. So you just don't like the smell or the flavor of it, as if, I mean, that's all that onion has. I mean, it does have a lot of vitamins and things like that in it, but it is very unfortunate to not like onions because they are in damn near everything. You learned a new technique the other day. It's all gone wrong. Caramelizing them by adding some water first makes them brown evenly and makes them nice and jammy all the way through. Good idea. Yeah, exactly. First step in a recipe, put the oil in the pan, add onion to it. Pretty much. You like Utz sour cream and onion potato chips? Love those too, yeah. It's horrible but delicious. You had this Christmas time in Denmark. They used those tiny pearl pickled onions and they caramelized them in sugar, and it's amazing. My mom loves those little pickle onions too. Have I replaced the venerable onion fan? I replaced the battery in it. But I have put it at least back in the kitchen to be used, I think. Pretty sure. It's not lingering up here. Now you cowards to eat pickle onions. Are you a pickle onion fan? I am not a huge fan of too many pickled things, but I better get used to it if I want to preserve stuff for my garden. But I've tried pickled onions and I just kind of prefer fresh or cooked onions. You like adding caramelized onions to bangers and mash with gravy. I love putting caramelized onions on a burger. Those are so good. When caramelizing, you can salt your onions a little bit at the start. It dries water out faster. Then you can add less water to the process. And it takes like half the time. Fascinating. You weren't allowed to make spaghetti growing up, Gaming by Pharaoh, because you added too much onions to the sauce. But they had a point. When you were a kid, your soup in your bowl looked like it had mold on the top. That's how much pepper you used. Whoa, you were like seasoning, strongly seasoning. Wow. That is incredible. Pickled onions and cheddar makes a good sandwich. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind because we have some pickled onions that my mom is just not working through. Onions are A tier to you, Manny, but not S tier because just biting into one isn't the easiest thing to do. Well, same thing with a lemon, and a lemon is S tier to me. So you can't just bite into an artichoke either. You do have to prepare it. You can't bite into a butternut squash. You do have to prepare it. No one's chomping down on garlic raw. You do have to peel it, you know. You started making sweet pickled red onions. Ooh, that does sound good. They taste good on everything. I have had a pickled shallots, like a quick pickled shallot dressing. We made it with HelloFresh one time. It was really good. Onions are fantastic at bulking up spaghetti. They're great in soups. You have chopped down a raw garlic peel just because you were hungry? Some people do eat Vidalias. Those are very sweet indeed. Remember, we're talking about just your plain, average, everyday yellow onion. We'll get to red onions in a bit. I don't understand the organization of this chart, but you know. Because garlic tastes great, okay. You can easily bite into it. That is very interesting, Manny. I wouldn't say that you are the majority here, though. You can also make an easy sauce with tomato, onion, and butter, and it turns into a very luscious, yes, a luscious sauce, perfect for spaghetti and things like that. It is. Oh, it is. It is sort of. I did do a little work, but they did the zucchini. Yeah, they undid this. I had to pull squash here and then this, but like whatever. It's not entirely in alphabetical order, but it's close enough. So, due to the D and F tier votes, I think maybe we can. I mean, personally, I would put it at S tier. I think onions are S tier veggies. They are the basis of so much cooking. They're great in everything, but I will acknowledge that some folks, it's difficult on their digestion. Folks like my dad can't have onions and garlic anymore. It's really tough on his body ever since he did chemo. So you don't see rhubarb. Yeah, good point. I don't see rhubarb in here. Technically, that is a vegetable. They're S tier for you. Yeah, they're S tier in my heart. I might do a little shake up of this. Y'all are gonna flip your lids when I do. Rhubarb, yes, is socially treated like a fruit, but it's more like, I think it's like a chard, honestly. It is just the stalks of a leaf. You know. Alright, just game hero, take your time. It's more of a vegetable than most of these things, indeed. Yeah. A tier is fine. We do need some way of saying that shallots are superior. Oh, it's all gone wrong. Okay. Yes, you can technically use rhubarb in savory cooking. Indeed, it's not, I think by itself it isn't very sweet, but we do put it in sweet preparations. But do not eat the leaves of rhubarb, just as a PSA. They are not good for you. So, let us discuss everything on the list up to spinach is S tier for you. Yeah. Well, hey, I look forward to seeing your votes, Snake, especially for our next item. May I bring to your attention the humble black olive? And now I don't know how we're gonna classify things like Kalamata or other varieties that are not just the shiny black olive that I've only seen come out of a can. However, I'm a big fan of these little guys. It's not a family gathering without these little dudes on the table. They're just fun little fellas. You can pop them right on your finger. And then you got a little beef eater. You got a little guard to stand outside of Buckingham Palace. They're salty. They're savory. They're fun on pizzas and in a salad. You can slice them and put them on like a sandwich, I guess, too. Olive Glutton 69 is checked in. There you are, Vash. Olive representation. Wow, I figured some folks were not big olive fans. You love Kalamata, but you hate canned olives. I could sit there and I will make myself sick eating the whole can. Olive oil, but like, well, is that made from black olives? If we're talking about olive oil, let's see. What olives make olive oil? Okay. Black or green olives make olive oil. Green olives are preferred. So if you want to talk olive oil, we have to do that for green olives. I believe black olives are treated to be that way. But anywho, let's see how it's shaping up so far. We have 3 S tier, 6 D tier. Those of you who voted D and F, I have to ask if it's D or if it's F tier. I'm shocked. Shocked! This will be very different on my chart. We have got an olive war going on right now. F tier. F tier. Everyone who has voted F or D is all leaning F. Olive oil is from Popeye. This is true. Wow. So I feel like there was a lot of folks for the first Brocktober who were like, oh yeah, love olives. And now the olive haters have showed up to my chats. One experience biting into a pit in a pizza is enough for a D tier for you. Wow, Shrike. Wow. You thought there was no such thing as black olives? You thought they were just green olives soaked in lye, but you were gullible as a kid. I think that black olives are treated to be that way. Olives in general, B tier to you, can only ingest them as a companion piece. I can literally just sit there and eat olives. I think there is an anti-olive conspiracy as well. This is very strong showing for the anti-olive council. However, because there are 4 votes above C tier, do we put it at it? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Personally, I don't think it can be anywhere below it. Like, an olive is a B tier to me. Olives with feta cheese, yes. You put it on a charcuterie board, you know? You can tolerate green olives. It feels like black olives are a worse version. Here I am thinking that I'm creating a safe space because I love making a bagel, putting cream cheese on it, and then putting some green olives on it. And I go crazy for that. And out here, even my own moderators are hating on olives. I can't believe it. I thought I could trust you all. F for the salty monstrosities. Oh my gosh. It's amazing pastel. I love it. On your list, there is like 30 empty ranks above S tier. And then there's olives. Yeah. There you go. I love that. Do try that. If you're an olive fan, if you're an olive hater, I guess don't try that. You can't do black olives. That's fine. I only use green olives for that, to be fair. Wow. I can't believe we're going to put olives here. I'm gonna put it at F, but I'm not putting green olives at F. I'm not putting green olives at F. I'm gonna let y'all have black olives as F tier. Okay, I'm gonna listen to the community on this one. I'm gonna let you have this, alright? But I'm not putting, don't even vote that. You can say D tier for green olives, but I'm not putting it at F. We're not putting 2 olives at F. I'll take the hit, Cage, for the black olives, but green olives, I mean, what are you cooking without olive oil? Like, why do you, what are you making that you're not using olive oil? Anything? Just cake? Is that what we're doing? All right, green olives. S, A, B, C, and D. You can't vote F. Okay? You love black olives, but you don't enjoy the green. Olive oil is the only saving grace. Take that into consideration with your vote. Use vegetable oil. The reason why I'm not a huge fan of vegetable oil is it's such a weird conglomerate of stuff. And it's just my personal preference that I prefer being able to know, like, the source of where the stuff has come from. Canola oil is fine. What is canola oil? Y'all better F the kale. Kale is already at C. But we did have a lot of votes in that, so. You once had a bad experience when oil goes rancid. Ugh. We're going for a 5-way split. Wow, so many votes. Wow, so many votes. Okay, we have 4 for S tier, 4 for A tier. I just love these little green guys. I love eating them on their own. Again, I'm some sort of olive pervert, I guess. Love having that. Just, I love the little pimento in there. It's fun. It's like a bright pop of color. There's a red, that's a bell pepper in there or something like that. There's a pepper in there. Pepper fans, you better show up for your green olive. Olive pervert gang. I'm some sort of olive pervert, I guess. I don't know. I will do the same, Snake. I'll give myself a tummy ache eating green olives. If there's nothing but olives and cheese in the fridge, I have a meal. I'm good. You know. Not a fan of the pimentos. Okay. You like sunflower oil, but it's more expensive. And Pastel is saying there's so much olive oil is not pure olive oil. This is true, but you can at least look on the back and find out where it's coming from and what the ingredients are. That's more like user selection to me. That's less on like, well, some olive oil is bad. Yes, of course. Some olive oil is bad. But, you know, so is any product that's in a bottle. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, community. We have 4 votes for S tier, 4 votes for A tier, and then 3, 3, 3 for B, C, and D. That's more like it. That's more like it. Now, charitably, for my olive haters out there, I'm not going to put it at S tier because there are enough votes below B that kind of pull it down. There's plenty of votes above B that pull it up. But just because the chart is kind of skewing one way or another, I will put it at an A tier for that. Oh, and green olives are great in a martini. You hated olives until you were 18 and then you became addicted. What was the day? Do you remember the day, Mash? You don't know if they cracked down on it? There was a scandal a few years ago because they did not disclose it. Did not disclose what other oils are going in olive oil. Interesting. Canola oil comes from a seed you cannot mention because Automod will flag it most likely. Oh, I see. I think maybe it's sometimes called linseed. Oh, I see. Canola is made from that. Right. So they call it canola instead. Hey, that's a great idea. But that's a seed oil, huh? Interesting. I used to eat olives right out of the jar for lunch as a kid. So good. So good. It was a whole thing that people cut their olive oil. Interesting. I wonder how long ago that was. Is canola oil named for Canada? Interesting. Boo, green olives are S tier. I can't hear or debate this right now, so you'll have to simply acquiesce. Just because we had so many anti-olive people, Twafo, I had to take it down to the A, but it does sit right on my soul. I love olives, and I'll shake this chart up, I swear. I will. But since it's a community vote, I'm trying to take the mean and the median. I'm trying to figure things out. You had a pizza with green olives in it, did you? That was what it did, huh? I have to say, just that tartness of a green olive does a great job of cutting through something fatty like a pizza, you know. What's going on, Mel? Good to see you. It is a divisive one. It is a divisive one. Finally, though, right, Mash? Finally, I feel like as a community, we've all been like very kumbaya, holding hands, etc., etc. But finally now we've got a little contention. Finally, we're, you know, kind of putting the spurs to things. So I'm here for it, really. As much as I disagree, I am here for you, olive haters. Now, if you ever should dine with me, I will make you eat olives. Just kidding, I won't do that. I probably won't dine with you either. Anyway, let's get to radishes for Ziff. Ziff has been sitting here dying to talk about radishes. I don't know about radishes personally. I'm trying to like radishes. You hope you're here for sweet potato. You're gonna bury that? Oh, that's right. It doesn't agree with your tummy. That's right. You're contrarian with all. That's all right. We need some votes to slide things around, Mars. We need a little, contention. The thing about the radishes is I hear that they might be better roasted. I'm not super big of a fan of them raw in a salad. I barely tolerate them in a salad. Does horseradish count? That, I think, is going to go into these are herbs dude category if it was here, Mars. Because I think it's more of a seasoning agent, you know. Yeah, people are... Oh, there's an ad break running. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't notice. But no dining with tea unless you're able to eat. You're willing to eat olives. So there you have it. 4 radishes. Let me just see where this is. Okay, my necklace is all turned around. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the radishes I had are very woody, very tough. To me, they're kind of B or C tier. Personally, I'm not a huge radish fan. But we have 3 votes for S tier, 2 votes for A tier, 3 votes for B tier, and then 3 votes for D and F. Tell me about the D and F votes. Tell me why you all think it's S tier. I need you to fight for this. And depending on how well you explain the radish and how you use radishes, that'll determine whether I put this above a B. A guy who wrote a book on how to survive the zombie apocalypse said he would plant radishes because they're healthy and foolproof to grow. Interesting. Huh. They do grow very easily and readily. Look at that spread. 3 for S, 3 for B, 3 for D and F. That's gonna put that solidly at a B if we go with like the middle of things. So radishes are the first veggies kids grow in your family, so it's very nostalgic. Yeah, radishes don't have too many uses for me, but if I can hear some folks... Now, you can grow radish greens. You can pluck them early and just eat the leafy greens instead of eating the spicy veg. You'd say C, but you couldn't vote. Let me see where this puts you. You'd be the only C vote. You forgot radish existed until now. So where does that put it for you? You did love the pickled radish that you made years ago. Okay. Some radish and cucumber slices with some good spicy Mexican food to cut the spice. The radish wouldn't be adding to that? Radishes are very fiery to me, but I might just be growing some like spicy radishes. You love the texture of them. It's a good taste even when they're raw. And it's a nice hand food snack. It is like snack size. You probably won't be eating too many radishes. You're not going to go overboard on radishes. The ones that you have aren't spicy. Hi, Shmi. It's good to see you. Radishes are special kind of spicy. Radishes... I'm going to put this at F tier just because I can't say it. Radishes and things like horseradish, stuff like that, is a very, like, covering the tongue front of the mouth spice to me, which I don't love. I think I prefer like a pepper spice kind of agent than I prefer a radish spice or horseradish or something like that, because to me, like, sometimes if you eat food that's off, it's like gone wrong, but it's not fully there yet, there's just like a little bit there, there's that weird like zing in your mouth, that little alcohol like zing. The radishes to me, I'm like, oh wait, it's just a radish, never mind. A radish with bread and butter was served like once a week. Was it cooked radish, Mars, or just raw? They're spicy and they taste like dirt, so okay. It's a fragrant spice. You're telling me a horse is a radish? A shrimp fried this rice? Raw radish with bread and butter. That's a very interesting food combo. I've never heard about that, Mars. I find that radishes are kind of bland in flavor, but awesome in texture and pretty filling. This really is angels and devils on my shoulder, by the way, because personally, like, I'm not a big radish fan. I would put it at a C tier. I'm trying to navigate between B and C right now. You like the flavor of it, but you don't like the texture. Radish is kind of mid, personally. It's kind of like the Sekiro, give yourself a mild poison so the poison swamp doesn't get to you. But for spices, I guess so, yeah. They're A or low S tier for you. They're not so bad. I need to be honest with myself. They're not so terrible. If they're in something, I'll eat it, but I don't eat too much of it. Like, if there's a lot of radishes in a salad, I am picking those out. You would take A tier? I'm sorry. I cannot do that for you, Ziv. However, you can make your own tier list at this link if you'd like to put radish at S tier for you. There you go. It is available for you. Trying to think where it should go. Yeah, I'm gonna just say in my heart, it's a C tier. It's a C tier. It's just kind of, yeah, not really there for me. I will eat it. I won't eat a lot of it. I'm so glad there are people in this world who eat a lot of it. I will pass off every radish to you, Ziff. And also Snake. Yeah, I feel like maybe just the salad application has skewed it for me. I do not enjoy them largely in a salad. I'll eat them. But if I get like more than like 3 little stabs and there's radish in there. You asked for more horseradish at a sushi place, and they acted offended and corrected you. You said, you mean wasabi. You want to be like, come on, man. Sushi place in Japan use horseradish because wasabi is hard to get your hands on and it's expensive. It might be a point of pride for them to call it wasabi at least. And maybe they use some fancy wasabi paste. What in tarnation? Iceberg lettuce is C tier. It's the watermelon of the lettuce world. Mars, I wish you were here for it. We disagree due to its just sort of it's kind of like a background fella. It's like a background guy. Maybe I'd bump it up to B tier. Maybe. But chat really wasn't having it. Now, chat was vying for butter lettuce, which is not on this list. That would have been an A tier lettuce. So, not really sure what you do with it other than put it in a salad. So, I apologize if I can't move the radishes above this. There was equal votes, I think, for S, B, and F. All the way low at F. So I'm gonna put it kind of in the middle at C, skewed slightly by my own natural kind of dislike of them. You eat packets of iceberg like crisps during heat waves. That's a smart idea, Mars. That's a great idea. Alrighty. Next up, all our fall friends. It's the humble pumpkin. Oh, who doesn't love a good pumpkin? I love pumpkin pie. I love these festive jack-o'-lanterns. I will decorate my whole house with them. I will eat pumpkin anything, really. But I don't go wild about pumpkins. I'm not growing them. I don't buy them at the store to eat them. But I do have a big love for them, honestly. They're not really a major thing there. Pumpkin seeds, though. Very good point. Pumpkin seeds. You went to Wendy's today and you tried the pumpkin spice frosty. What do you think? C tier orange guys. Really? You don't eat pumpkin unless it's pumpkin pie. But them seeds, though. They become a major thing via Halloween. I see. Carving A tier. Taste is C tier. Where does that put it on there for you? But I don't know if I eat a lot of things. I mean, now pumpkin pie, if we could talk about pumpkin pie for a second. Because if we're saying that the olive is at least A tier because of the olive oil, then I think saying pumpkin pie is A tier because of... Oh, pumpkin is A tier because of pumpkin pie is like, yeah. Love that. Love. The frosty was good, though you haven't had a lot of pumpkin spice stuff. So the spice aspect was a little odd for you, I see. When does anybody have pumpkin? Pumpkin bread. My father makes pumpkin bread, and it's delicious. It's an autumnal treat. Did I try to grow some? They ended up being a massive pain in the butt to pollinate. Yeah, they were very difficult for me to grow, but some people have them grow just like wild. I don't know. I might be pumpkin cursed. Ooh, okay, we're getting... So we've got 3 votes for B tier, 4 votes for C tier. Let me see. Pumpkin is kind of mid at best. All right. Pumpkin chai. I think it's Tazo makes a pumpkin spice chai. It's very good. Pumpkins are a designer food. Pumpkin pie flavoring is just a spice combination that's better suited for sweet potato pie. I see. You've had pumpkins grow in the compost heap? I wish to God I could say the same. I tried that so hard, Mars. But they weren't pollinating. It's great, but you wouldn't go out of your way for it, right? Okay. So 4 votes for C tier, 3 votes for B tier, 2 votes for A tier, only 1 S, and only 1 D or F tier. Can the person who voted D or F tier, if you'd like to, tell us where you think that is, D or F? I don't know if it's going to pull it down that much. Do the votes above C move it to a B? With pumpkin seeds, you put it at a B tier, but that's about it. So you think it's a C tier. Your mom just grows giant pumpkins for fun. You never know what to do with them once they've grown enough, though. That's a shame. You know, there's ways to... Now, I do not think you can can pumpkin, which is odd because you can buy cans of pumpkin at the store, but I think only industrial processes are good for preserving pumpkin in jars. But instead, I think you can, like, roast it and freeze it. That is safe, but it is not safe to jar can it due to the inability of home canning methods penetrating the density of the pumpkin to prevent botulism. You know. Pumpkin ravioli is D tier for you. Interesting. No, Mars, I would never ask that. Sweet potato does everything pumpkin does better. Okay. I'll put it at the C tier. Now we have so many more votes for B and A above D tier, so I'm going to say it's solidly a C. So, very high pumpkin level knowledge. I'm just learning about a lot about canning. Now, technically, also pumpkins, I believe, are fruits. So, but you know, this whole vegetable fruit debacle is very complicated. So that was supposed to be an S tier. Oh, I was like, wow, you do not enjoy pumpkin. I was like, why would you mention pumpkin ravioli if you do not like it? Because not a lot of people are talking about pumpkin ravioli, but I get you. Okay, it's supposed to be an S tier. Good luck with the buttercream, though. All right, I'll allow it. Pumpkin tastes better than sweet potato, says Mars. But Pastel says it does not. Just because something is scientifically a fruit doesn't mean it is a traditional fruit, right? Can't believe I put the sleeper agent. I did not. Anything you see labeled is what the chart gave us. Now, however, I did add other fruits like olives and peppers, etc., etc. here. Did we rank anything else? I think it was just the olives and peppers that our community put in. Now, we are going to talk potatoes. Do we want to switch over to sweet potato, or do you want to talk about potato? Are we going to go in order? I also got to keep an eye on the ad timer. Okay, 25 minutes to the next one. Do you want to talk taters, or since we were talking pumpkin, do we want to talk sweet potatoes? What do you want to do? I gotta say, though, I love pumpkin pie. Every year from October to Christmas, I will eat pumpkin pie. I'm making a pumpkin bundt cake. Probably tomorrow. So I think it's like a pretty, at least B tier. Just do the potatoes? Okay, let's talk taters. Potatoes. Taters, precious. Question, potatoes. Now, S, A, B, C, D, and F. Potatoes are also a very easy thing for at-home folks to grow. You can just kind of take a potato that has eyes on it. It's like kind of sprouting from your bag of potatoes that you buy at the grocery store. Put that sucker in the ground and you will probably have some potatoes several months later. So, do you make pie with real pumpkin? Yes, you can absolutely do that. I have not actually... Oh, I have made pumpkin pie once with my aunt, the same aunt that had passed away earlier this year. And it was delightful. We did that one Thanksgiving together at my grandma's house when I was a kid. I was not helping much because I was a little baby. So. Potato and rhubarb. What about radishes, though? Those are your other S tiers. You clicked the wrong one. Which did you mean? What did you vote for, Pastel? And what did you mean to vote for? You read Lord of the Rings. You're surprised that the potato conversation was in the book and not invented for the movie. Though Sam never said boil, mash, and stick them in a stew. Interesting. Okay. I think the S tier is going to run away with this one. Now, of course, I am of Irish heritage. I do love a good potato. But let's talk about the origin of potatoes. I believe they are of South American origin. But of course, you may know the Great Potato Famine hitting Ireland with no aid from the English colony to help there. The Irish folk were either starving or driven to migrate or had to literally just eat the grass that was growing. But let's talk about where taters come from. Wild potato species can be found from the southern United States to southern Chile. It was originally believed to have been domesticated by Native Americans independently in multiple locations, but later genetic studies traced a single origin in the area of present-day southern Peru and extreme northwestern Bolivia. Interesting. Potatoes were domesticated there 7,000 to 10,000 years ago from a species in the Breviculae complex. Fascinating. Solanaceae breviculae. In the Andes region of South America, where the species is indigenous, some close relatives of the potato are still cultivated. That's what Wikipedia says. Over 99% of potatoes presently cultivated worldwide descend from the varieties that originated in the lowlands of south central Chile. How about that? So there you go. I mean, then it was taken to Europe and it just went off. It is an essential crop in Europe, mainly in northern and eastern Europe, where per capita production is still the highest in the world, while the most rapid expansion in production during the 21st century was in southern and eastern Asia, with China and Asia leading the world production of 376 million tons as of 2021. There you go. It's a nightshade, just like tomatoes, by the way. So, S tier ran away with it. Hi, King KY. Is that black olives an F and green olives an A? Based. Good to see you. I love all olives, honestly. They're all A tier to me. But chat really is strongly against black olives. So. Growing up with an Irish mom, potatoes were in every meal. There you go. Andy's region. Thanks, Andy. Yeah. Apparently, potato is the largest non-cereal crop worldwide. Good to know. Potatoes are the best food out there. So easy to farm them. What's your favorite ways to prepare potatoes? But I get you, Pastel. You had too many boiled potatoes growing up, but you do like them mashed, in chips, fries, scallop. There's just so many ways to prepare them. But there's I would love to hear folks' favorite preparations. Also, potatoes do make vodka. It's an easy S tier for me. Even though recently we had a bag of potatoes that went rotten in my house and it was filled with bugs, and I don't want to talk about it. Hello, Choppy Chop. Yes, I was thinking of you, Choppy Chop, my artichoke friend. I was like, I just can't let this not be S tier because I know how important artichokes are. What a great thistle, right? Aloo palak, Indian potato curry is the best way to have them. I'm gonna order that next time I order Indian food. Pierogies and gnocchi are both potato-based. Very true. It's an example of potatoes being S tier. Where's the freaking soil? Love that. Potatoes are eldritch. It's so funny. Fries and chips. I mean, oh, I love a good potato chip. Yeah, I'm pretty proud, Choppy Chop. Pretty proud of us coming together on artichoke. Put potato at A tier because sometimes you get a nasty one that ruins your life. No, I could never say that. Oh, I may have said it about something else. The skin on homemade chips or potatoes dauphinoise. How is that prepared? I would love to hear about that. You gotta get some pierogies. I also met all these. I should have got them. The potato curry is very mild. As I warned you last week, I am white. Sometimes things are a little too spicy for me. So I appreciate heads up that it is mild. Thank you, thank you. I will order a lot of it. That was you quoting yourself from earlier. Okay. Well, thank goodness. Yeah, potatoes is easy S tier for me. They're so good. And hold on, I think I heard something that like they contain a lot of essential nutrients, like even proteins and stuff. Potatoes, nutrients. I heard something like you can, like some folks, okay, I don't want to tell people all you need to eat is potatoes. Don't do that. A varied diet is incredibly important. However, potatoes are rich in vitamin C. They were a life-saving source of vitamin C, which prevents scurvy, of course. There's a lot of potassium in it, which is great for your nervous system, your heart, and your muscles. Let me see this little thing. It's got carbs in it. A medium-sized potato with the skin on has 3 grams of protein, so broccoli's gonna beat it in terms of protein per capita. I wonder if mushrooms have protein in them. But great potassium. It has at least 2 grams of fiber, which is 7% of your daily intake, and 30% of vitamin C. Who would have thought? The potato. The tater. I can't believe potatoes get a bad rap because they're poor food. That's wild to me. I love potatoes. It's a crucial part of my mom's Irish beef stew. You got awesome news, Zif. You got a new winter coat. It's a lovely black coat with a fur-trimmed hood. Lovely! Where'd you get that from, Zif? Yes, some folks, in times of desperation, some folks have lived on just potatoes. Now, I watched a YouTuber, I believe it's Epic Gardener. a few years ago, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, he did this thing where he only ate the potatoes he grew. Like he did like a year of potatoes. He went to the doctor before and he went to the doctor after, and he got his like blood panels and stuff done. And he showed like, yes, you can live on this, but you're going to be very nutritionally deficient in certain things. So it is possible to do, but I would always recommend to you to have a variety of fruits, vegetables, proteins, and starches in your diet, just because you're gonna be better off if you do so. You really want to try those original potatoes from South America. They look like crooked, multicolored, knobby carrots. Interesting. Yeah, those tubers are very interesting to me. Maybe not in the potato family, but there is sunchokes. Actually grow underground. They're unlike artichokes. They kind of taste like it, but they are like very knobbly and tubery. Yes, as Mark Watney learned on Mars from, what is that, The Martian? Now for the terrifying part, freehanding Miss Piggy onto a cake. I'm sure it's gonna go well. Are they? Do you like sunchokes? How do you have them, Pastel? They're not on this chart, but I would love to know about them. I saw somebody growing them and preparing them and preserving them. The one downside of them is I hear they make you very gaseous. They are a tootin' fruit, for sure. Alright, let's see. Snake has said, I've lived on potatoes for long periods of time before. Easily $20 a month food budget. Yeah, if you have to stretch your dollar, potatoes are a great way to do that. And welcome back, Ryan. We have talked about potatoes, and I'm sorry. The community and I overrule you. Potatoes are S tier. Easy. So good. Okay, let's talk sugar snap peas, shall we? Sugar snap peas. Are these like snow peas? I think. Is that technically what these are? Are these? They're different from peas that come out of a pod. These are the pods you actually eat, right? I think these are alright. They're like kind of, to me, they're more of a snack thing. But let's see how you all feel about sugar snap peas. Now, if you haven't had sugar snap peas before, you can say you've never tried it in chat. And I will, if there's a majority of folks that haven't tried it, I will make sure I count fats. Oh, you have some in your fridge. You like them in a stir fry, okay. You call them mange tout here, literally meaning eat all. That makes sense, Mars, because you eat the insides, you eat the outsides. Great in stir fries. Okay, that's probably how I've had them. It's your favorite kind of pea. It's a good snack, okay. I think I've eaten these raw. I think they're a little easier for me to eat than like green beans when it comes to raw consumption. Green beans raw make my fingers and mouth itch, so I think I have a mild allergy to it. But they are great raw. They're so sweet. Sometimes when I'm like, just to prepare them for food stuff, I'll like snap off the little stem, and then if they have the little zipper on it, you know, the little line that runs down. Please excuse my tardiness. You are well excused me. It's so good to see you. You're heading out for an overdue shower. Please remember to destroy kale. Okay, when I do the rearranging, when the great rearranging comes, I will lower kale down just for you, Pastel. You like them lightly steamed to warm them, but still kind of technically raw. Interesting. Snap peas with butter and garlic and lemon juice. That sounds so good, Mars. I love that. I will reiterate this since we have some more folks coming in. If you want to talk about your favorite preparation of these vegetables, it might inspire other people to try them. Like if somebody hasn't had them before, and is trying to add more veggies to their diet, your passion for this vegetable can help a person discover their new favorite food and a healthier way of eating. Wow, we have 4 votes for S tier, 3 votes for A tier, 2 votes for B, none for C, and 1 for D or F. You're here and mad about olives. Twavo, tell me where you would have put the olives, please. 4 votes are S tier and 3 votes for A tier. Very interesting. You would have put them at S tier. I think olives are fantastic, but you wouldn't believe the hate. It was just MASH against the world, really, it seemed like, Twafo. MASH was like, put the olives, and everyone was just like, boo, throwing rotten tomatoes. So The only thing you don't like is when you forget to pull the stringy back off a pod. Yeah, and you're like, and then it's like stuck in that little wad, and you're like, ugh. You know, I also dislike that part of it. It is part of the preparation, you know. So, how do we feel? Okay, it's looking like sugar snap peas are skewing very highly. At least A tier, I'd say. We're going at least A tier. Are they on the same tier as potatoes? Same tier as corn, carrots, mushrooms, jalapenos, bell peppers? Is this the friend we're reaching for no matter what? Or are we like, it's down here because of the preparation or something like that? Is the preparation enough to hold it back from S tier and put it to A tier? What do you think? Olives are situational. I would eat an olive in every situation. There you go, Shmee. Those green olives on the cream cheese, love it. They're on the lower end for S tier for you. Not in the same world as potatoes, but you think butternuts should be mid. I'm sorry, Mars. You want olives and cream cheese? You should do it. Let's see. Snappies are green olives. Friend in the A tier. You find out something you don't like about me? What is it? That my love of olives? What? That's fine. No one's perfect. You're on the lower end of S tier. I do like sugar snap peas. I'll eat them if they're around. Oh, my olive love? Great. I love being repulsive. Makes me very happy. I will sit here and eat a jar of olives. I will do an olive eaten live stream from my phone. 3 a.m. I'm not up at 3 a.m. I'm asleep. 11:30 p.m. So tired, but I gotta wake up and eat some food. Olive mukbang, that's me. Taters, broccoli, and tomatoes should have their own tier above S. I think I'm running out of room to make more tiers. Oh yeah, I'll put them all, like the black ones on one side and then the green ones on the other side. I like a large number of foods that you wouldn't like because you were a weirdo and you only eat like 5 things. Well, that gives you a lot of comfort. I delight in a varied diet. I love that. I'll try anything once at least, you know. Our sugar snap peas S tier. I must look within. But you know, the community voted positively, very positively. I don't think there was enough negative sentiment to drag it down. Aside from snacking on them raw or slightly steamed and putting them in stir fries, any other applications? Because you got the king of applications right here. The potato. I don't think anybody's beating potato for applications. Potato is probably the highest tier. Broccoli and potato are like ruling the vegetable world together with garlic right behind. So like, are sugar snap peas as versatile? Oh, but then again, butternut squash is not that versatile. And you're not really cooking up a cucumber, are you? Would I try an energy bar made of crickets? Yes, I've actually had cricket flour chips before. I had them at TwitchCon. Not bad. Tastes like chips. I know exactly, Twafo. Imagine. Potato is SSS reverse holographic tier, I'm guessing, yeah. Peas are just that yummy, okay. Do people pickle potatoes? People do preserve potatoes. I don't know if they pickle them, but you can preserve them in jars. You're gonna have to go back in the VOD to see who voted against them. Yeah. You know, a queso coronation list is in the works. Will there be a carne crowning? Vote on the best meats? Maybe, Manny. I'll have to see what kind of tier list is out there, because I don't want to get divisive and be like, okay, everyone vote on tripe, and then like people put it in F tier because they're like, ew, and it's like, I haven't tried tripe. I don't know if it's good or bad. You know, you made an oat yent who was on a pureed dirt. I think there might be some. I think there's some buttercream in this one. Shmee. I'm trying to figure out this one. I will ask for clarification. I'm so sorry. Oh, you meet a patient who was on a puree diet A butternut squash smoothie. Got you, got you, got you. Got it. So sorry. I'm so sorry. Usually I'm better at guessing these things. But it tastes like pie. That sounds very good. You are totally fine there, Shmi. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna leave sugar snap peas up at S tier. I think they're so great. And you know what? If all you eat, if you're like, these things give me tummy aches, spicy stuff is not good for me, I'm allergic to something in this and that, and mushrooms texture grosses me out or something. If you're eating sugar snap peas, at least you got some greener in your diet. You know, you're doing okay. You're having some vegetables. I was interested because I was like, is it Soylent and oat milk? I was thinking that might have been it. I was trying to piece that together because I was thinking, oh yeah, Shmi has made some like food concoctions before like that. Also, interesting. I feel like, oh no, it is working. Okay. I didn't think that the pronoun displayer was working, but I think it is. Okay. Yeah, tripe can be good depending on how it's prepared. I'm sure there's great like tripe tacos out there and stuff. Someone with acid reflux, spicy foods are the most delicious bane of your existence. Yeah. Interesting. Powdered mushrooms. I've never heard of that before, Shmi. Let's talk red onions. Red onions. Now, we discussed onions before. Onions are at A tier. How do you feel about red onions? I love red onions. I think they're a little less versatile than regular, well, not regular, but like a yellow onion or a white onion. But they have that really nice, fresh bite to it. So they are great for fresh preparations. However, if I have cut up a red onion and I need an onion for something, I'll saute that sucker up. I don't care. They're slightly less sweet than a yellow onion or a white onion, but they're great in guacamole. It really stands out. You know, you think they're a little above white onions. It really depends on how folks treat onions. Red onions are okay raw, but you would prefer shallots. I don't even find them comparable, you know? They got that extra bite. They're interesting. They're fiery, you know? I do love a good raw red onion. We've got 1 vote for S tier, 4 votes for A tier. Is that so, Pack? Do you become ill when you eat onions? That is so unfortunate. There's a Peruvian red onion salad that's amazing. Pickled red onions. I think we were just talking about that earlier. Pickled red onions are really good. And they're pretty. They're pink. It's like so pretty. Love it. I love seeing a red onion in something like a guacamole or like the pickling of it. So, oh, I see now we're getting some more votes. We have 1 vote for B, 1 for C. And KG still don't like onions. I gotcha. Oh, it's not an allergy? You're just mortified by them. Gotcha. Is it like a fear of their construction? Because they are a spiral. There could be some Junji Ito fear in there. I get that. Or the spiciness of them, yeah. Salsa Criolla. Interesting. Is that what it's called, the one that you like? Let's see. Game Over, you were saying you started reading about soy milk and you had heard it could give men breasts, so you stopped reading and you steered clear of it. You wish you kept reading because you can drink like 3 liters of soy milk a day, every day, and then that would happen. But also, beer can increase men's breast size as well. So now you put soy milk in your cereal, yeah. Yeah, I think the science out about that was like shaky at best at the time. But it does have some impact on hormone levels, but it just depends on the volume of it you're consuming, right? If onions are caramelized, they automatically go up 1 full tier. I don't find myself caramelizing red onions that much. And your brother used to eat onions like apples. Wild. I know some folks who do that. All right, it looks like 3 votes for S, 5 votes for A tier, 1 for B, 1 for C, no for D, despite Pac saying that onions are rejected bodily. So I sadly cannot count that vote. Yes, red onions in the salsa. I think red onions sit firmly at A tier at minimum, although I'm very intrigued by the 3 S tier votes. What makes a red onion better than a white or a yellow onion to you all? Soy milk is your favorite non-dairy milk. I wonder if I can get my brother into soy milk. He likes almond milk. Soy in general makes your tummy go nuts. Well, we do have soybeans coming up. You do have, you abstained. Your vote matters, Pack. Your vote matters. Don't feel bad. I don't know how people feel about it unless they tell me in chat. They're like, I'm an S tier soy fan. All right. Or you could say, I'm an F tier soy hater. Get that soy out of here. Or red onion or what have you. Soy in general makes it to me. Oh yeah, I think some folks have like soy allergies too. Some folks are more affected by the soy lecithin. Okay. Did I say that right? Lecithin? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was lecithin. I don't know what it is anymore now. I'm saying it wrong all the way. The soy something or other. You like the flavor of soy? At least gets a B for you. Okay. Is edamame the same thing as soybeans? I don't know. Educate me. Help. Both onions are high A tier for you, but you tend to prefer red because you prefer their taste raw a little bit better, which means less effort into prep. This is true. Okay, edamame is soy. Good to know. I've always wanted to try those like edamame like dried beans. Your roommate has a soy allergy, so you try to take a dairy pill and use cow milk when you have to cook for the two of you. Gotcha. Got you. Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant as well. I don't drink much milk anymore. I will occasionally have like a cup of hot chocolate, maybe 1 or 2 hot chocolates a year, usually towards Christmas time. But it's really just an excuse to eat marshmallows and drink Ovaltine. By the way, the ad is coming up in 44 seconds, just so you all know. But let's get some votes in for red cabbage. Very interesting, the red cabbage. I see less cooked red cabbage. I do love getting red cabbage in a salad. I love making a slaw for it. HelloFresh turned me on to a red cabbage slaw with a little bit of mayonnaise, a little bit of sugar, the juice of 1 lime, and some cilantro. Oh, the perfect tangy slaw to have along with like a fatty, spicy meat. Kind of like a pork taco or something. Putting that slaw in there is great. It's also good for like a deli sandwich to kind of bring a brightness to things. It's really good. Now my mom doesn't have regular cabbage. Like if we have regular cabbage slaw, she'll have it my way with the cilantro and stuff in it instead of doing the usual like carrots and whatnot. Be careful eating edamame. Sometimes the beans will come to life. Are you talking about Mame Shiba? Is that the Mame Shiba? I loved that little animation back in the day. It had like a little kid voice. Like, did you know this and this and that? Alright, we don't have a lot of votes for red cabbage. 1 vote for S, 2 for A, 1 for B, 1 for D or F. Fascinating. You like green cabbage, but you don't like the red cabbage. What makes it worse for you, Cage? Try some more cabbage things. I love a salad that has red cabbage in it. You know you're getting your veggies in. You know. Personally, all cabbage is a solid B for you. There's nothing you dislike about them. But they're kind of there to add volume. They do bulk up a salad, I have to say. One of my favorite hacks is buying a bag of coleslaw. You know, the bag coleslaw mix? It doesn't have like the dressing on it or anything. It's just like the shredded cabbage and stuff. And buying a bag of salad mix. And then you just mix those two together and you can have a lot of salad for less money than 2 bags of salad mix. You know, salad mix gets very expensive. You voted S because if you look at a salad and red cabbage in the mix, you know you're in for a good time. Yeah, your tummy's like, thanks, 2 thumbs up for me, your intestines. So it got 4 votes for B, 2 for A, 1 for S, 1 for B, none for C. I like that solid B tier vote. I see the representation here. I'm surprised that it's low. Oh, I'm betting you that if Nat was here, we'd have a lot more intel on cabbage. And in fact, when Natera shows up, I'm sure they're going to be a little disappointed. But red cabbage is the best pickled. Red cabbage is a little too thick for you and crunchy and kind of bitter. You like the green because it's usually thinner. I see that. I see. I like the stiffness of the cabbage personally. It's not a downside to me, but I understand. I'm going to go with the community vote and say it's B tier. Personally, I think all cabbage is at least A tier. But I'll go with the community vote here, as is, you know, democratically elected. So. Oh, Nat, you are here. You've never had red cabbage before. And you are one of the cabbage counts. Of the cabbage council. So I'm interested. You should try it out as a cabbage fan. I think there's a... how would I describe red cabbage? There's a slight bitterness to it, but it's not like radicchio bitter. It's not like radish bitter. Or even eggplant that's untreated bitter, you know. Sorry about that. Water went down the wrong pipe. Okay. Sorry about that. Red cabbage is squeaky, but I love the squeak. I do love the squeak. And then your tummy is squeaky clean. Is it a cooking cabbage? I treat it more like a salad cabbage, like a slaw cabbage. But you can cook it down, absolutely. Oh, in fact, I have actually made some HelloFresh recipes where you do cook the cabbage. In like a stir fry. I've stir fried cabbage and carrot and stuff like that. It's very good like that now that they think of it. To me, that makes it A tier. But the community has voted, and I will acknowledge the community here because I gotta give y'all something. It's time for peas. Let's think about peas. If my mother were voting, peas would be F tier. She has had bad experiences growing up eating mushy peas. That's not the same for me. I grew up loving peas. I love them in, just thrown into pasta dishes, honestly. If you put them in like a tuna noodle casserole, we always had peas in those. I just love them steamed with some butter and some salt. That's great. Very boring, but so easy to make. If you're tired and you just spent your day making like a very elaborate dinner and you're like, oh no, I have to have something green on the side, just steam up some frozen peas and put some butter in it. It's great. Also, I love split pea soup. Oh my god, I love split pea soup. And so does my mother. She'll have the split pea soup, but she won't have mushy peas. I never mush my peas though. I don't know what that's about. You can do that with your mouth. Unless you can't, and then I understand. But you should just be eating split pea soup if you can't mush them with your mouth. I don't know. That's just me. The split pea soup. Ooh. Yes, well, broccoli is S tier. Strongly, firmly S tier. So was potatoes. I think broccoli and potatoes got the most votes for S. How do you feel about peas though, Will? You're not a fan of peas yourself? You'll eat them if they're served to you, but you do avoid them. Interesting. Yeah. We have 4 votes for S tier for peas. 2 for A, 3 for B, 2 for C, none for F. They're kind of midway between S and A, it looks like. Peas are kind of C tier for you. Interesting. What makes you think so? Like, you know, what makes them better than the bottom of the barrel? But, like, what's keeping them from being on top? Peas should be mashed. You like mashed peas? That's up to you. I don't know about the consistency of that for me. If you eat peas from a can, you can understand not liking peas. Yeah, canned food can often be over salted and also overcooked. Although, while you don't dislike mushy peas, you prefer steamed salad peas, yeah. Peas stand out. They are like little discrete pellets. And also, Will, you have a lot of rabbits, so you might be averse to pellet-shaped food, just because of the things that rabbits produce that are pellet-shaped, you know? You know, I do love the bags of frozen peas. Yeah. B tier got the most votes. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. My dog is barking. I'm sorry about that. I think somebody in my neighborhood must come home at 5:30 because Stella always barks at them. Interesting. I disagree that it's B tier. I think peas are easily A tier. Okay, pea haters. I need to hear from the haters. Which there are at least 2 of you. Alright, pea haters. Why don't you like peas? What's bad about peas? Sometimes it's a psychological thing. There might be a Tina override. I might put this at A tier. For once, you agree with me. Some people are allergic. Oh, yes. Oh, you know, you can make pea protein, y'all. These weightlifters are having pea protein because they don't want to have whey protein. They're drinking pea protein. Hideo Kojima tier list. Oh, yeah, you know Hideo Kojima would put the peas on top. You don't like the taste of them. Really? Is it the sweetness? Sometimes peas can be grainy. Sometimes peas can be grainy. Y'all said B though? B? The thing about so much of the B tier things is their textural experiences. You use pea protein and it's really good. That's great because, like, for lactose intolerant folks, I don't know how much a whey protein is gonna be good to us, you know? Pea milk, is it green? I wonder. Peas with a mint sauce, I think that's kind of a, like, a very British preparation, if I'm not mistaken. You don't like the sweetness of them, okay. Here's some crinkling. Does it make you want to steam a bag of those mixed frozen veggies? You should. Okay, I'm surprised, Cage. I would think it's green, you know. They don't even taste sweet to you. The flavor just doesn't work for you. Valid, valid. You know, we can't all like every veg. You know, Will said they're C tier too. For me, it's just so easy for me to know I can have a veg. And they're often cheaper than broccoli too in terms of steamed veggies. Oh, the milk is from yellow split peas. I know, I want to push it up to A tier, Cage. I want to push it up to A tier. User brand Orgain for the protein. I can't remember the name of the other one that you like a little more. Interesting. I'll keep an eye out for that, Shmi. Is it like Vital Proteins or like Dr. Mercola? Because I've also seen those as like mixes, but I haven't seen like a pea protein from them. But I wonder. Because I have to get protein powder for my dad when he's in recovery and stuff like that. So B tier? B tier? You could put them in a pasta. It's got let me tell you about peas, okay? We're looking at peas nutrients. Telling you this. That's why I always eat them in a bowl, Will. I don't have peas on a plate. Because then you do have to chase them, and I get that. So, peas are a good source of vitamin C and E, zinc, and other antioxidants. Other nutrients such as vitamins A and B and cholesterol help reduce inflammation and reduce your risk of chronic conditions including diabetes, heart disease, and arthritis. How about that? Chasing peas is a pain, yeah. Let me look into this Healthline article. What are green beans? Is this some AI written thing? I swear to God. It's got 4.4 grams of fiber in a half cup serving, 4.3 grams of protein, vitamin A, K, C, thiamine, folate, manganese, iron, and phosphorus. So what makes peas unique from other vegetables is their high protein counts. A half cup of carrots has only 0.6 grams of protein, where a half cup of peas has 7 times that amount. How about that? Very interesting. Peas can go in a shepherd's pie too, yeah. They can sneak right in there. And then it just tastes like whatever meat you have your shepherd's pie, you know. You don't currently have a container to confirm, but you have a jar of their superfood blend with probiotics. It's gross, so no. It might be better in smaller amounts. Okay. Compare peas to broccoli. Yeah, that is actually a good question. Well, let me see. Half a cup of broccoli protein value. Let's see. If we're going to do this, Mars Raptor will do this. So a half cup of chopped broccoli is 1.3 grams of protein. So how much is 7 times 0.6? Let's see. 7 times 0.6 is 4.2. Peas have more protein than broccoli? Is that the math? Peas have more protein than broccoli? The thing that those big muscle dudes are putting like on their plates with their regular unseasoned rice and their boiled chicken breasts? That's wild. Okay, let me just make sure this is right. Protein in broccoli and peas. Cause like there is no way. Is that true? Pea has 92% more protein than broccoli. It has 2.8 grams of protein per 100 grams for broccoli. And peas has 5.4 grams of protein. Oh, it's A tier. Sorry. It might be higher than that. So lots of the big pea lobby. I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry. I had no idea it was so much higher in protein. Unseasoned rice, yeah. Whew. That's tough. You had to put something in there. Pea protein. Okay, for the community, since you voted B tier, I'm gonna put it there. But I just want you to know it's going up to S on my tier. When this whole shebang is done, it's an S tier food for me. I did not know it was that much higher. I think there must be some broccoli like lobbyists out there because I do love broccoli, but why are they the go-to for protein? Is it because you can put them on the same baking sheet as the chicken when you bake it? Is that why? You could just steam a bag of peas and have so much protein. At long last, your copy of Spider-Man 2 has arrived. Tell me the first vegetable you see in that game. Gotta tell me. The only unseasoned rice you can do is Asian sticky rice. Can't spell protein without pea. We're talking about peas, which has more protein than broccoli. We just found out, Pine. How about that? And that's true. They don't make protein powder out of broccoli, do they? I do appreciate broccoli as a cruciferous vegetable. You all know I'm an evangelist for cruciferous vegetables. They're incredibly important. It's good for fiber. It'll sweep out your bowels. It's very important to have a varied diet and stuff. But hey, hell yeah. Peas. Probably a lack of knowledge. Well, let's spread the word, Manny. Let's get these gym bros eating some peas. Broccoli is fun, but like, I think, you know, just a little bowl of buttered peas. That's nice. A little sweetness. The broccoli I do love with some lemon butter sauce. That's delish. Let's get these gym bros on some peas. Actually, let's not, because I don't want to drive up the price of peas. I'm worried. I'm worried about that. But anyway, sweet potato. It's sweet tater time. You know it's that time of year for them, too. Oh, I'm so hungry, by the way. I had shrimp, red bell pepper, and zucchini in angel hair pasta. And it was delicious. But I could eat again right now. Alrighty. Sweet potato. B, C, D, and F. Let's start this poll up. What do y'all think about sweet potatoes? You can have... Now, I know Ewan is a sweet potato disliker because of the way it hurts his tummy. I get that. Don't know if we want gym bros in bed with Big P. Maybe. Ewan is ready. Alrighty. Ewan says, let me take the stage. Sweet potatoes were created by Satan himself just to mess with you. Even if you have a little bit or some sweet potato juice gets in your system, you'll suffer a horrific 12 hours of things I will not go into detail about. But I end up lying on the floor, crying from the exhaustion. F you, sweet potato. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you disagree with this opinion, then know that you are wrong. Thank you for the diatribe, Ewan. I understand now where at least one of the DNF tier votes is coming from. I'm shocked to see there is 4 votes, however, for D and F tier. Now we have a real divisive split tier. 4 votes for S and 4 votes for F. 1 for B and 1 for C. 5 votes now for S. 3 votes for C. We're shaking it up. We're getting a little more variety in our votes. That would be great. A squeezy 2-pack of peas. Yeah, call it like extreme power paste or something. Sweet potato french fries with raspberry aioli. That sounds very good. Sweet potatoes are more versatile pie ingredient over pumpkins. Yes, I heard you can make a delicious sweet potato pie. I love sweet potatoes. Sweet potato fries are good. I prefer just a baked sweet potato. I applaud the hater behavior too. Exactly, it's me. The texture you do not like. Do you like the flavor of it at least, Cage? Whenever you eat a sweet potato, you're always disappointed that it is a sweet potato. I love a baked sweet potato. I just love it. And also, you can just microwave those suckers. And then you got a little deliciousness. It's still split. 5-5. Now we have to break it down. Oh no! There is 5S, 1A, 1B, 3 C's, and 5 D and F. So it really is truly split down the line. S tied with F. Can you believe it? I did not think sweet potatoes would be this divisive. I can't believe it. Wow. I love sweet potatoes though. My vote is very important. You'd rather have a regular potato, but the nutritional content of a sweet potato versus a regular potato is different. They're not used for the same purposes. Let's look into that. Nutritional value of potatoes and sweet potatoes. You forgot to vote. You would have voted A. Okay, so that would have given us 2 A's and 1 B, 3 C's. Still kind of skewing towards the 2 registers of things. This is a very interesting curve. Okay, sweet potato versus potato, what's the difference? I need like an image. I'm sure there's gonna be one. Starchy veg comparison. Okay, sweet potatoes. I'm not gonna talk about calorie count because that doesn't matter to me. But protein, the potato beats the sweet potato in protein by a small margin. Potatoes per 100 grams have 2.3 grams of protein, whereas sweet potatoes only have 1.9 grams. Sweet potatoes are slightly more carb dense. However, they are higher in fiber, 3 grams versus the white potatoes, 1.8 grams. They have the same folate content. The sweet potato is higher in vitamin C, lower in potassium, but obviously has a lot of beta carotene in it. So, you think sweet potatoes are definitely A tier, maybe S tier. Yeah. Extreme P-teen food paste. I'm loving this. I think you should develop it. Ooh, sweet potatoes, so good. Ugh. Is this also, now hold on. Is this a geographical divide also? Because I have a feeling there's a sweetness in the hearts of the South for the sweet potato that perhaps Northerners don't appreciate as much. It is kind of a crucial part of holiday celebrations to have sweet potatoes on the table. Could this be a geographical divide? The only thing you don't like about sweet potatoes, sometimes they can be kind of stringy, which you're not big on. I'm a mango lover, so like, don't care. I'll floss my teeth with that thing. I'll just eat that sweet potato. Sweet potato is C tier at best. You're from Iowa, and they're very common there. But you're not a sweet potato fan, are you, Cage? I'm from Chicago. My grandmother used to make sweet potato thing for Thanksgiving, and it whipped ass. You're Canadian, so you don't know. You're a Northerner, and you like sweet potatoes. You prefer the sweetness of parsnips over sweet potatoes. I wish I had put parsnips in this chart. I am so curious about this split. This is wild. I did not think sweet potatoes would be as divisive. Wow. I mean, by medians, if we were like splitting the vote 5 and 5, there were more votes for the... Well, actually, there was 3 votes for C tier. And then 1 for A and 1 for B. You realize at some point, Choppy Chop, the thing you liked about sweet potatoes at Thanksgiving was the marshmallows on top. That's why I can tell you purely, I love sweet potatoes. All I have is a pat of butter on it. I don't put brown sugar on it. I don't put caramelized nuts on it. I don't put marshmallows on it. I love the sweet potato. I love that sucker. It's good. It's very good. It's delicious. Yeah, people on sweet potato casserole, yada yada. Generally, you're not a fan of holiday foods, but it's due to your doo-doo connections with the holidays. I get you. Sometimes, honestly, and especially for a lot of queer people, holiday food tables can be very rough because it just reminds you of exclusion. So I get that for sure. Sweet potato fries are better than regular fries, do you think? Yeah. Ewan is going off. Ewan, for you, I will let the sweet potato Linger at the C tier, even though in my heart it is an S tier vegetable. Can you do butternut pumpkin? Can you do butternut squash? Have you tried that? Or is that as tummy turning? Yeah, they have them. Oh, a little salt on a sweet potato. Sometimes that's all you need. Oh, you voted with Ewan because you could care less and they also hurt you. I get that. Sorry, I'm in the Midwest. We put marshmallows and sweet potatoes sometimes. Be thankful it's not ranch dressing. My brother puts ranch dressing on everything. Bless him. Hey, I just say if that helps you eat a variety of foods, that's great. Whatever you gotta put on it. If that is your salt intake, then go ahead. Sweet potatoes are the bomb, Morphinius. You know, if we had your vote just a little bit sooner, we could have pushed sweet potatoes up to B tier, possibly. Okay, you can have butternut squash. Interesting. That is great to hear. Because in the same applications you can make like a butternut squash curry, you can make sweet potato curry. So for folks like you and who can't have a sweet potato curry, I make it. It's a great vegetarian curry with bell peppers, onions, and sweet potatoes, and green beans, chopped green beans. So good. However, if you can't do sweet potatoes, you can do a butternut squash in that situation. That's great to know. You can chop it up and prepare it much in the same way because they're starchy. And in fact, on the starchy veg comparison between sweet potatoes and white potatoes, this image also talks about butternut squash as well. They call it butternut pumpkin, which I assume is a UK thing. Butternut has more protein than sweet potatoes, less carbs than sweet potatoes, about the same amount of fiber as a white potato, far more folates, which is, I believe, is a B vitamin, and far more potassium, almost, yeah, more beta carotene than a white potato, but less than a sweet potato. But very interesting nutritional facts there. You mentioned curry, so you must proclaim your love for yellow Thai curry. What goes into that? What veggies go into that? Who doesn't love a curry? Curry is a friend to the vegetables. Curry, if you have difficulty eating different vegetables and a variety of them, throw some curry on that stuff. Some curry paste or curry powder, and saute those things up. That will really transform your relationship with vegetables. You'll find yourself eating a lot more. Thai curry just slaps? You think it's the potato and the cashews. Ooh, love cashews in a curry. That's fun. Good protein too. So, curry is a friend to everyone yet. The only thing curry isn't a friend to is shirts. If that curry gets on the shirt, that's a pajama top. I think Gaming by Fair was just talking about the other day. Because as soon as you get that turmeric in there, goodbye. It's not coming out. But that's okay. You gotta wear your curry shirt. Some yellow Thai curry mixed into mashed potatoes. Yeah, I would love to try a curry served over mashed potatoes, or because they usually have it with rice. So, gotta find a Thai place near you. You've never had a curry. Ooh. Now, there's of course Indian curry as well, which I think is more focused on like kind of an onion base. But they're both good, both delicious. So, Ewan, I'm glad to hear you at least like butternut squash, because I was like, no, but the beta carotene. Can we talk spinach? How much time do I have before my break? We have, okay, 15 minutes until 6. I'm also making myself so hungry. In the UK, you get curry with French fries. How about that? That sounds awesome. Coconut rice sounds good. You want to write a bedtime story about a curry shirt and a toothpaste shirt falling in love and living happily ever after. Does a toothpaste shirt stay stained? I was under the impression that the toothpaste would come off. S for spinach. It's right in the name. And then Ewan says spinach is F. Oh my goodness. These votes really are going to be all over the place, aren't they? Spinach. I love spinach. However, I don't know how much you wash it. Sometimes it's grainy. If you saute it. However, my own however. I love throwing spinach into pastas. I love throwing spinach into a soup. If you're like not doing the noodle thing, you don't want to put like a starch into your soup, or you might have already put like maybe a noodle or like a cubed potato or something in there. Throwing a handful of spinach, you have to get a mountain of it because it cooks down a lot. Throwing spinach into like a cooked application like that, like a soup, I think is fantastic, because then it kind of turns into its own noodle. You like it in a casserole or a dip, like spinach and artichoke dip. Gotcha. Yeah, spinach is great added to things. If you don't like the texture of spinach, you can blitz it and put it in a tomato sauce and it disappears. It just goes away. It just looks like a little flecks. And then you're getting all that great vitamin content and none of the textural issues. You're not a smart person. You didn't know spinach was a leaf until 26 or so. You only knew the odd canned Popeye version. You're like, it's a green tube. You would just eat spinach by itself as a kid. My mom loves it sauteed with a little garlic and some onion. Spinach was the worst as a kid, Mars. They turned spinach into mush, added cream and eggs, and it was always eaten with white fish, which you also hate. Now you use it correctly, and it's so good. What's your favorite application of it, Mars? Because we're talking applications for folks like To Be Fair and other folks who don't really have that much experience cooking with vegetables or eating vegetables, so... Oh my gosh. We have 4 S tier votes, 5 B tier votes, and 2 D and F tier votes. Now, I'm counting the votes in the poll, folks, because I can't double check to see if you said, no, it's F tier, and then you also voted F tier, and then you say, oh, but I didn't get a chance to vote. Like, come on now. Get your votes in. It's election season. Spinach prepared the same way as collards. I have never had that before, and it sounds really good. You really only ever eat spinach in salads. Or like the Popeye cans with cream cheese. I've never had like the canned spinach with like cream cheese before. My mom loves creamed spinach, but I haven't heard of spinach with cream cheese. Yeah, it's a leaf you can eat, and you can feel like Littlefoot from oh god, the dinosaur movie, Land Before Time. You can be like, I'm a dinosaur and I'm eating a leaf right now, you know. You would have B tier for spinach because how it's prepared makes a massive difference. This is true. So my mom doesn't want me to eat raw spinach. 1, because there's worries about E. coli. 2, because she said there's some sort of nutrient that's like not activated unless you cook it or something. So when you worked in the kitchen, the chef was like, put 3 cups of spinach in a bowl, and you're like, what? And then he walked up and grabbed a handful and said, that's a cup. And you're like, oh, okay. You still use that for your smoothies. It's another gym bro food. Is it? Is spinach a gym bro food? I had no idea. Ewan, did you want to explain your feelings about spinach? And why you think it's trash tier? Spinach leaf hanging out of your mouth. It is, like, if you have it hanging out of the mouth, that's cute. If you got the spinach in the teeth, oh no! Social faux pas. It's a superfood most def. Popeye is the OG gym bro, isn't he? Although I don't know if he was ever working out. He was literally just eating spinach. Did he ever work out? I don't know. I think the most votes were for B tier, which surprises me. I think it's more like red cabbage. I would say that's at least an A tier. You didn't get all the iron nutrients unless it's somewhat sauteed, because the body can't break the cells down. That must be what my mom was talking about then. But it's good because the fiber helps with bowel movements and things like that. But definitely wash it well. Yeah, because getting food poisoning from something that's supposed to be healing you. Oh. With those forearms, he works out at least as hard as Luke. Okay. Spinach, regardless of how it's prepared, tastes like wet, dirty paper to you. And the smell as it cooks is no good. Interesting. It does have an aroma when it cooks, certainly. Popeye ate spinach to gain strength because canned spinach had an error in the amount of protein it contained. It was 3.5 milligrams, so it was labeled as 35 milligrams. Interesting. Wow, who would have thought? You just had a spinach sandwich at work and had the faux pas the rest of the day. But yeah, you know, at least, you know, you had your spinach, though. You must be doing something wrong with spinach because your spinach omelets taste bad. I don't think I've had a spinach omelet before. Big spinach is out to convince you. Well, the community vote lean towards B tier. Now, if I want to prepare myself a vegetable to eat, I think I'd lean more towards peas, more towards asparagus, a salad, broccoli, you know, sugar snap peas. Then I would lean towards spinach. And also, spinach is kind of getting expensive, I have to say. You can't eat too much of it. It gives you a tummy ache. Interesting. Spinach doesn't mix well with egg, but you were traumatized as a kid. Yeah, I don't know if I've had it. Oh, wait. Have I had a spinach quiche? I think I've had a spinach and artichoke quiche. And it has a funkier flavor due to the spinach. But, like, I'm confident putting it at a B tier. I think it's a B tier thing. Spinach on a feta cheese focaccia sandwich? Or are we just talking just the focaccia out here like that? You once found a grasshopper or some kind of lizard in a bag of spinach. That's wild. You would still eat it though. Was it alive? B tier is fine. I'm sorry to Ewan. Ewan, I would love to see your veggie tier list, personally. Spinach does go good with cheese, because I think it is kind of a funky thing, so I'd love to see your list. Now, keep in mind, I had to add these peppers to the list, and also olives, so those won't be on the list for you, but you can upload any, like, veggie photos and stuff. I would love to see your tier list specifically, Ewan, because you have very strong opinions. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Bake it onto the top of the focaccia. And that was in one of those pre-packed bags of spinach. Yeah, you have to be very careful when you're eating pre-packaged things. As much as I do love the pre-packaged salads, like there was a time where we didn't buy those anymore because my mom had got bitten by a caterpillar that was in one. So always check your food. I like take it out by hand and I'm like looking at the leaves as I'm putting them in the bowl because I don't want to get bit by a caterpillar. This was like 15 years ago, though. Your list kept olives out as it should be. I'm surprised you didn't invent a tier for olives, Ryan. How about soybeans? I don't really eat a lot of soybeans as is, but they are in damn near everything. Soybean oil, tofu, soy milk. There's a lot of applications for soy. So I'd love to hear how we rate soybeans. Folks love eating edamame as well, which I have not had, but its prevalence as a snack makes me think that it's gotta be good. You don't try to eat soy, but you must eat it all the time, right? Never had just soybeans on their own. And Smee, our vegetarian representative, says S tier. Damn it. It is Spanish for I am beans. Yes, soybeans. Edamame is good, but they give you a lot of it at a sushi place. Do they? Never had it. Never had it before. Oh, you did make another tier. That's great. Was it the hell tier? You voted F on accident. Okay, what would you prefer to vote for, Twafo? Subtract. I will subtract one vote for D and F if you tell me where to put it instead. Flavor what? Oh, you thought it was S tier. Gotcha. I'm betting you like clicked S and then you accidentally clicked D before you hit vote. Probably. Okay, so I'll take one out of D and F and put it on S. So S tier has... I'll put my own vote there for you. There you go. And then I'll just take one of the votes away from the D tier. Flavor-wise, you like soybeans. Nutritionally-wise, there is controversy about eating too much soy. Yeah. But I wonder about that because we have seen in, like, populations where soy is very popular, like in Asia. Have there been studies on Asian populations to see if soy is treating them negatively? You know? You know you eat soy products, you enjoy them for the most part, but you can't identify them as a veggie themselves over a processed ingredient. Got ya. There's a lot of things you don't like today. I'm glad you're voting, Just Game Hero. Soy has a good flavor, but it tears your stomach up. So it gets a B vote for you. Interesting. For some folks, that would be enough for a D tier. So I'm surprised by your judiciousness there. There was something about soy reducing libido, if you recall correctly, but you don't think it was confirmed scientifically. Yeah, I wonder about that because isn't there a term that's like soy boy or whatever? I don't know much about this, but like I wonder how much of the negative perception of soy is based on like xenophobia or like a sense of masculinity tied to the consumption of meat. I have no idea. So we have 4 votes for S tier, 4 votes for B tier, and 3 for A, 2 for D, because I'm taking out the one negative one from Twafo. You love Asian cuisine, that is mainly why it gets such a high rank. Got ya. It's looking that way more, Phineas. With 4 votes at S, 3 at A, and 4 at B, I feel like we can meet in the middle and put soy at A rank. You know. There's a lot of phytoestrogen in soy, which is the plant-based version of estrogen, so it can mess with the body in some instances, yeah. But I think we were talking about earlier how it has to be like a huge amount of it for it to have an impact. But I think it can have like a slight effect. Now, again, I don't know the science of this. I'm not looking at a study of it right now. But it's certainly, those chemicals are present, so it can certainly have an effect. But I think having a little soy in something won't be like, suddenly you got boobalus. Sometimes you put baked bacon on a vegetarian burger. You get a lot of comments about that, yeah. I am so hungry right now. That soy boy thing was like alpha male stuff. Okay, interesting. Shrike, you tried doing a lot of soy before getting human or hormone replacement therapy, but it didn't do anything for you. Okay, you're like, please give me all your soy. It didn't really help. That's a bummer. So the effect of it is a little exaggerated then. But you did have a lot of protein. Yeah, there's that. I feel confident about it being in A tier with peas. I wonder if we're going to see peas and soybeans again in my legume ranking. By the way, the ad break is coming up in about 10 seconds, y'all. Just so you know, if anybody is not subscribed, you may see ads. If you don't have turbo or anything, you might see ads in the next 5 or so seconds. From what you've seen, outside of any outlying conditions, if you're eating enough soy products that the estrogen is affecting your body, you may have other problems to worry about. Yeah, you may just be like eating a hell of a lot of soy products. You like peas more than soybeans, though. Now, I personally haven't had just soybeans, but I do want to put it on my list to try edamame. Sounds like a great idea. You just got swole. You're like, no, this is not what I want to be. I don't want to be Popeye. I'd rather be olive oil. It would be an extremely unhealthy amount of one type of food. Interesting. For it to directly affect your hormones, it might be akin to the amount of bananas you need to eat to kill you. Which, funny enough, is a Samuel Beckett play called Krapp's Last Tape. It's Krapp. Krapp's Last Tape. A man eats so much bananas it'll kill him. It's wild. And he has this obsessive desire of recording his process of eating bananas on a cassette recorder. Irish absurdist poet Samuel Beckett. Anyway, that's the check-in from my master's in English. Just giving you a little info on Krapp's Last Tape in case you want to check out absurdism. I need to get my meds. Give me 1 second. Turn this little thing off. You can get up, waddle over there to get my meds. Sure, yeah, you could eat enough carrots to turn you yellow, but you'd have to eat a lot. A lot. You want to put a vote towards renaming shallots for bruschetta because that's all they're good for? I think there's other applications of shallots. We're going to talk about it. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Yeah. Oh, boy. That is going to be a problem. I don't have any sleep stuff for the night. Whoops. I'm gonna have to wander out into the hallway and see if I can borrow some from the bathroom cabinet or something. You're guessing the banana eating guy didn't die from radiation poisoning. I don't remember. I just do remember he died at the end and he was eating a lot of bananas. My English degree is proud and weirdly patriotic at this moment, I'm sure. Alright, let me take my meds. I might wait until... I cannot believe I gotta wait till the 7 p.m. break. This show goes on forever. Let's eat some food. I would take an early dinner break if we're gonna talk about food. Oh, I will not take my turmeric or my glucosamine until I'm having a meal. I had a cranberry pill earlier today. Well, it's either... No, it probably was my multivitamin. I took my multivitamin with a very small swallow of water, and it was the worst mistake of my life. Went outside at about 9 a.m., I'd say. 8:55, 9 a.m., I was shoveling mulch and all the activity on an empty stomach with nothing but a swallow of multivitamin in my belly. I had the worst, most acidic burp, and it almost killed me. Anyway, shallots! I almost died from eating multivitamin. Time does feel all out of whack. You keep thinking it's almost 7, and you're like, it's 5. Yeah, it's like, it's 6 here now. Shallots. But this is a recommendation to you all. Please take your vitamins with more than just a swallow of water. It's important, or else you get the weird vitamin burps, and it sucks. Shallots, I like shallots well enough, but they don't feel as... Hold on though. Oh, hello, Cat for the win. How do you feel about shallots? We have a poll going right now. Welcome to BROCTOBER, my community vegetable tier ranking list. Please join us in talking about shallots, and how do you feel about these other things in the list? And thank you, Not the Ross. Oh, where's my little whispers of the ocean? Let me tell you what the ocean has to say about you. Thank you so much again, Cat for the win. You are fantastic. I hope you had a fabulous show. Hello, Pond Water. Hello, To Be Fair again. Hello, Wolf Prince. And Findeer. And of course, Cat for the win themselves. Yeah, shallots are like fancy onions. I don't use them a lot, but I get them in like fancy preparations. Like when I'm making a HelloFresh meal and they want me to do something like fun, like make a little pickled shallot thingy, I'll do that. 1 banana equivalent dose, BED, is about 0.1 microsieverts of radiation. It's not cumulative because you poo the radiation out. Oh, good to know. Okay, so it probably wasn't enough bananas to kill via radiation. Shallots are fine. You think you won't request them, but you would not eat them. So you'd say maybe they're like a B or a C tier. Let's see the votes here. So we have 5 votes for A, no votes for S. I'm very surprised about that. 3 votes for B, and 1 vote for D or F tier. Use shallots in place of onions most of the time because you don't really like onions. Is it a milder flavor for you, Cage? I think in the preparation of it, it's less acrid. Like it doesn't like hurt the eyeballs to cut as much. Neither did I. Maybe it's just in terms of banana radiation, to be fair. Not Thross. Your card, your whisper from the ocean is where you need to be. You are like this blue angel, which if you find in the ocean, you shouldn't touch. By the way, this is a creature you shouldn't touch. I think it can sting you. But it is a tiny little creature that floats around. It says, acknowledge how you're feeling, Not the Ross. Have faith that the universe will take care of a current concern by providing the best possible outcome for everyone involved. There you go. It's more mild. It's more similar to garlic. Interesting. Isn't that pretty, right? Okay. We have 5 votes for A tier, 3 votes for B tier, 1 vote for S tier. I'm sure that is from you, Cage. And 1 vote for S, 1 vote for D or F tier. Interesting. You really needed that. I'm glad to hear. Oh, you voted B? Okay. I see. I think solidly. Wow, all of our onions are hitting A tier, aren't they? I'm surprised. I do know someone said that shallots should be S tier. Because they were like, okay, onions to me are S tier, so shallots should be up there too. At least if onions can't get S tier, then shallots will. So that was probably the person who voted S. You voted B for bruschetta. I do love a good bruschetta though. Yeah, onions. It's right there in the title, onions. Was it, oh gosh, did the vote shake out as A tier? Is that what it was? We have all of our onions are A tier veggies. You are a huge vegetable fan, which I appreciate, Twafo. How do y'all like using shallots? Or those of you who voted lower, what did you think shallots are like? Where is it acceptable? Where do you not like it? What's keeping it out of S tier for you, basically? For me, I think they're more expensive. They're tinier. So, like, you can get a big bag of onions for cheap. If you go to the store, the grocery store I used to go to when I was in grad school, you could buy a bag of onions and a bag of potatoes for like $5. Huge, like 5-pound bags, like 3 to 5 pounds of these things. And I was like, okay, I can eat this week on my grad student budget. So shallots aren't even available where you shop, Phoenix. Yeah, so maybe you just don't have a lot of exposure from that. And then when you get them, like I said, they're so tiny. You're like, oh, I have to make good use of this little thing. They're great in a stir fry, but they're expensive and kind of niche in use. For Italian food, yeah, you'd want something a little more robust. Yeah, they are fancy onions for gourmet meals. Whole Foods might sell them. That's a good question. You think shallots are better than red onions, which are better than yellow onions? Okay. Yeah, I wonder if Whole Foods has them. That might, I would say give that a look, Phoenix, if you're looking to try them. You are back for fancy onions, you think they're okay. Is okay worse or better than a regular onion or red onion? And Findeer, shallots are more subtle in flavor, so anything where you aren't adding a lot of other big flavors, shallots might be good. Oh, that makes sense. It's a little more delicate. You wouldn't want it to overpower other things. Interesting. They're good for stir fries and other specific dishes, not the raws. Can't put them on hamburgers either. Okay. Immediate downgrade. Hamburgers. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, Mars. You think yellow onions are better than red onions or that are better than shallots. I see. What do they even taste like? You've cooked in kitchens close to 10 years. You've never used them. I would say they just taste like onions to me. That's really it. But like maybe a milder onion? Like an onion you rinsed under the sink, you know? They taste like onions, but you can taste the smallness of it, I guess. I suppose so. Oh, we have turnips on this list? Okay, turnip is basically a parsnip in my opinion. But I haven't really had much of either of them. That little, you can taste the tininess of it. It's microscopic on the taste buds. Interesting. Well, I guess our onions are sitting quite safely. At A tier, I mean, I still think you can't go wrong with an onion of any sort. Oh, you'd give tomatoes a C? Do you enjoy pizza, Phoenix? Because that will tell me a lot. Turnips are not as good as parsnips. Okay. I think... Oh, we're doing another onion. Let's talk about green onions next. And then I might have to take a food break, to be honest. I'm getting so hungry. Scallions, green onions. Now, if you are like me and you have a meal kit subscription, you use these suckers every freaking week. They will send you at least 2 green onions per box. Minimum. You're nonplussed by scallions. I feel like I should grow them because they're in like everything that HelloFresh sends me. Green onions and leeks are F tier for you. Why is that, Phoenix? We are indeed talking about food. It makes me so hungry, to be fair. You can have pizza without tomatoes. I mean, yes, you can have a white sauce pizza, surely. Yeah. You sell them instead of eating. In a survival situation, you just use them as bartering. I feel like it, MASH. But they're like so stingy on the garlic, I tell you. They'll send you one skinny little clove and you're like, come on now. This isn't even enough for half a dish. I do love a white sauce pizza. Alrighty, we're looking at the onion tiers. You all think they're at least inferior to... And Phoenix, I need your vote in here. Can you vote? Maybe as like, Maybe it's not showing up for you, but the poll is active. We've got 6 votes for B tier, 3 for A, 2 for S, none for C or D. I am getting a delivery of HelloFresh next week. I used to be sponsored by them, but not currently because they only do commission-based sponsorships. And I would prefer to be paid for my time that I talk about them. But now I'm just talking about them for free anyway because I still use them and cook with them. So, yeah, they got scallions in there for sure. A lot of the recipes I make are just things I learned through HelloFresh now. I am both Hello and Fresh, yeah. Okay, 3 votes for S, 3 votes for A, 6 for B. I think it's kind of firmly sitting in a B tier. However, the 6 above B, I feel like it would skew a high B tier. You know? Can I do a box opening and or cooking stream with it? I could. It comes in next Tuesday, I think. I have done a... Wait, oh, you know what? I don't think I actually have done a HelloFresh cooking stream because I didn't have my box of ingredients before my sponsored stream for them. So I could do it. Could set up my laptop in there. Would you all like to watch that? Be making dinner before the show? Let me see what time I have on next week. Maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I can make some time for that. Put scallions in B. Oh, you like them in a soup. The scallion greens. Yes, scallion greens are so good. Cooking stream. Okay. I'll try to set things up next week for it. Next week would probably be the last week I can do special things because after that, my dad is, again, he's having surgery. So I will probably be at the hospital for the week after that. But I will try to do a HelloFresh cooking stream next week. Why not? It will not be sponsored. I am still paying them the box subscription price. I think it's about $70 for 3 meals for 2 people. Although it gives us plenty leftovers, and I always give my brother some too. He'll usually eat it, so it kind of covers at least 3 people. But yeah, scallions are ruined from you when you got sick from scallion pancakes. That is a darn shame. Yeah, okay. I think it showed up as B tier. With several votes for A and S. Can I hear from the A and S voters why you think it shouldn't be B tier? I would like to hear about that. The scallion pancakes in the freezer, and they're very good. Oh. What do you think made you sick from the scallion pancakes, Shmi? Did they defrost? They like... is it a situation where your freezer lost power or something? They're perfect in every way. I do love that you have the white part of the scallion, which you can saute and use as an onion. And then you have the green part of the scallion, which you can sprinkle on top, and it's still a little oniony. Like, that's pretty cool. And also, you can just... If you just use the green bit, and then you put it in a cup of water, you can grow back that green bit. That's kind of cool. Not a lot of the things you can take the top off of, and then still, like, eat the rest. You know, and have it come back. That's kind of cool. If you try doing a carrot like that, you're just going to get carrot greens, folks. If you try to cut the bottom off, the edible part of the carrot, and then you put it in a cup, you just get carrot greens. Which is fun, but not that great. Oh, they were greasy. That can hurt for sure. You love them in a salad, or you like them sprinkled all over your favorite Chinese foods. They're great on top of a soup. You can actually, yes, you can regrow potatoes like that. Although it's better to use, if you're a home grower, it's better to use like a whole potato with the eyes in it. You do have to, I think they call it like scabbing. You do have to like cure the other part of a potato. If you get a cut potato, you can still grow from a cut potato though. But there's certain ways to prepare it so it doesn't just rot in the soil. They are crisp, they are crunchy. An unappetizing name. What? What is an unappetizing name? Has anyone watched Epic Meals? Asks Just a Game Hero. You don't have to do that? Really? I have to say, as a potato grower, I've had more success with whole potatoes and less success for potato. Oh, scabbing. It might be. There's probably a different, better name for it. I can't remember. But I've had less success with damaged potatoes growing them personally. So if somebody at home was like, I can grow my own food, I would tell them to start with a whole potato. But you can have it and grow stuff from it. Every second that passes, you become more impressed with green onion. So much so that it should be A tier, Twaffle. What do you think? What do you think? Put a layer of dirt on it for every 5 potatoes in a bucket. Water once every 2 to 3 days. Are you a gardener as well, Phoenix Leaf? Because I adore gardening. I always love hearing from other gardeners. S tier, of course. I don't know if I could bend it up that far. Because the majority of votes, we had 6 for B, 3 for A, and 3 for S. So I could pull it high B or low A. I could pull it that way. What do you grow currently, Phoenix Leaf? Are you in the Phoenix area? You don't have to tell me that if you don't want to. But I would love to know what kind of like growing conditions you have, what stuff you like growing. I'm finally going to be able to have raised garden beds in my backyard next year to grow some food. Although I do have to test the soil first. Ah, you're in 6B. We're in, I think, 7A. So you probably already have your frost, right? That's unfortunate. I like those little potatoes, but let's be honest, they just took growing potatoes and they sell them fancy and for more. I do love those little tiny ones. You just saw black olives. I love them, Kat. I'm with you. Black olives are at least B tier to me, but I wanted to go with the community on this one. Oh, no frost yet. Okay, great. Yeah, no frost here either, though we're due for it in the next 10 days or so, I think. But that's fine. The season's wrapping up. I think since Scallions had 6 strong votes for B, but 6 above B, so I'm gonna put Scallions on A tier with the rest of the onions. You know? Who's in Phoenix? Apparently not Phoenix Leaf Gaming. Apparently not. I'm sorry, yeah, we lacked a lot of voters. Olives got the chop early. They were the second thing we voted on, so yeah. Years ago you loved black olives, but you grew out of them, yeah. It's gonna get up to 80 degrees? That is wild. You're in the 5B growing zone and you got frost already. Oh yeah, I bet. Pack. That's a shame. Although, you know, maybe there's some frost-hardy foods you can still keep growing that you can overwinter. You know? I think we're gonna get to watercress, yellow squash, zucchini, turnip, tomatoes, cayenne peppers, red and green chilies, habaneros, and shishito peppers after a food break. Because I am so hungry. We've been talking about food for 2.5 hours. I gotta get something to eat. Oh, got you! Got you, Phoenix Leaf Gaming. Do you ever do any gardening stuff on stream? I've never... Yeah, I don't know if I've had watercress. We'll have to talk about that when I come back. But it's time for a brief break, y'all. I gotta eat. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna go descend upon a pile of vegetables. And then when I come back, we'll talk watercress, squash, tomatoes, turnips, and various peppers. And then if we have some time after that, we'll do some Pikmin 4. So I'll see you all soon. Let me do a marker. Let's do that. Hello, Jess. How do you feel about watercress, Jess? Do you like it because it rhymes with your name? What are your thoughts, feelings, concerns about watercress? Not very watery, I don't think. I don't actually know about the flavor profile. Since I haven't had it, I don't think. I'm gonna put, I'm gonna structure this tier list a little differently for the votes. I'm doing S tier, A tier, B tier, and C tier combined. D tier and F tier combined, and then never had it. I'm gonna see how folks shake out. You grew watercress when you're like 5 years old. Interesting. Good night, Ewan. Thank you so much for your informative opinions about various vegetables, and I'm glad that you still are a butternut squash enjoyer. But let's see. Watercress is one of the 8 items in V8 juice. Interesting. It's one of those 8. Well, then I guess I've had it, because I've had V8 before. I've never had it on its own. Let's learn about its flavor profile, shall we? What does watercress taste like? Its only purpose is for egg sandwiches. Interesting. It says raw watercress tastes bright and fresh, though mature plants can become slightly bitter. Its somewhat peppery flavor is reminiscent of other related veggies like mustard greens and wasabi. The green leaf loses some of its pungency when it's cooked. Okay, so it's kind of like an arugula situation, maybe? It tastes like sadness and crunchiness. I'm guessing that's a low vote for you, Shrike. You're probably one of the DNF tier. Ooh. We might just do a poll that's like B, C, D, and F. We might do a second runner-up poll to see how folks shake out. It's spicy, but without heat. It's not that bad, but it is kind of empty. Okay. What did V eat? V8. That's it. It's a C for you. Bit of a weird texture. Okay, because it's very fine. Interesting. Yeah, I can't say that I've had, like... I feel like I've... Oh, the ad break is starting soon, by the way. I just saw that's gonna kick in. Didn't know we had talked for 5 minutes about watercress. Jess, I'm so sorry. The vote for olives was early, and apparently the folks who watch this show right after lunch do not like olives. It was so strongly F tier. Yeah. And I was rallying against it, let me tell you. It's not my own personal chart. I will show you all my personal chart after this. I will make it right here on stream, and I will scandalize you all with it. So B and C tier. Okay, there's more people have had it than not. So, okay. The only food opinion you care about is when people don't like olives. Is that like in terms of like friendships or like romantic partners and stuff like that, Jess? Like, is that a red flag for you? Everything besides tomatoes goes in D and F for you. Oh, disagree with you about squash there. I've got some zucchini and yellow squash in my ratatouille. It's good. It can go on a lot of stuff. But watercress, I think B and C tier. So can I hear from the folks who voted B and C tier? What is it closer to? Is it a B tier veggie, or is it kind of like lettuce? I'm honestly also sweet potato. For me, that's gotta move up. Gotta move up. But we'll talk about watercress. Is it a C tier thing or a B tier thing? Folks who voted, let me know how it shakes down. Now wait, we had also some votes for D tier too, right? So I mean that could drag it to a C. Oh wait, that's spinach. Sorry about that. Sorry. Cress is like a D tier to you. It's a red flag for you, Jess. Your boyfriend doesn't like them. He is an uncultured swine. Well, at least, you know what that means though, Jess? When you have a partnership with somebody and you like a food that they don't like, that means you get to eat that stuff out of their meals. Like, you're like, oh, free olives. Like, when somebody doesn't like pickles, I'm like, dill pickles. Okay, so we have one chat vote for D tier, one for B tier. You like the spicy taste? I can't stand that emote. That succulent grape tomato. Oh my god. You get his olives and his tomatoes, and he gets your pickles. Gotcha. I'm surprised he doesn't like the tomatoes, though. You think you're confusing it with parsnips. Oh, yes. Watercress is very different from parsnips. Or are you thinking about turnips? The show How I Got Your Mother described that kind of relationship with olives specifically. Oh, How I Met Your Mother. I'm a fry stealer. I did think about that because it's been a while. No, I usually just eat my own food, but I'm like, would you like to try this? But with no like implication that they have to give me some of theirs. I'm like, this is good, you should eat it. I'm a feeding person, so if my thing is good, I want someone to experience it as well. What would you put in the this is herbs D category? Watercress? Interesting. Well, I think I feel comfortable putting it at a C, since somebody had said B tier and someone else said D tier. I'll strike the difference between. I put it at a C tier. I mean, it's there with iceberg lettuce. romaine, kale. It's in good company in terms of leafy greens. You know? Watercress is like a Tory salad to you. I don't know what that is. I thought Tory was like British politics. I do not know what a Tory salad is because I don't know much about British politics. What are the sprouts that go on a sandwich? Oh, like alfalfa? Alfalfa is like sprouts for a sandwich. Oh, I am right. Oh, so it's like a British kind of salad. I don't know what political affiliation a Tory would be akin to. I don't know if they're doing good things. I don't know if they're doing bad things. I don't know. Posh and somewhat racist. Okay. Rich, fancy British salad. Okay, so that's more the leanings of the Tory party. Good to know. I really don't know like anything about British politics. I don't know anything. I think there's still a group of British politicians that wear powdered wigs, right? Literally, I don't know. I do not know. Thankfully, watercress cannot vote. Well, is it safe to put it at sea then? That shoots out various microgreens can be put on a sandwich as well. Yeah. You don't want to know it? It's all trash. Okay. You drink lemon Pellegrino. Your gay friend called it Tory Sprite. That's very funny. They used to in the Lords. You don't think it's common except for in like certain occasions. I think it's very funny, but like I don't want to laugh at anybody's culture, but like wearing powdered wigs, that's very interesting. Do judges still do that too? I don't know. I love the idea that people put on wigs and then act serious. That's very funny to me. Like, I'm going to put on this dusty wig and then tell someone what they can or cannot do with their life. That's hilarious. Putting on wigs just to be beautiful, to like do a little drag, to like give yourself some zhuzh because you're like, you know, I'm feeling like the blue wig today. That's great. But then putting it on and being like, no, this specific type of person can't do this in this circumstance. That's funny to me. The judicial dress up. But then I'm a stupid American, so what do I know? I just love the act of wearing wigs. I find it a very fun thing. And then putting it in a not fun scenario, I think is funny. Let's talk about Squash. Spider-Man 2 has finally installed with day 1 patch to download. You are ready to play. You'll have me on the PC and you'll let you know if you see any vegetables. Yes, I need to know the first vegetable you see. You're going to spoil everybody in chat about the first vegetable that you see. All except fruit as well, Centauri. If, like, Miles Morales has eaten an apple, I do have to know. Because you know me. If you ever see an apple in a video game, please send it to me. I would like to see it. In Dominican Republic, lawyers and judges wear robes and fez with white pom-poms. That's fascinating. Love pom-poms. Shake a chinchilla over my head. You will address me as your honor. Like, this poor dusty animal. You're always on the lookout for video game apples. I appreciate it. I have an obsession with apples now. I'm obsessed. I want to grow an apple tree. And, Phoenix, if you're still here, I know you said you had to go feed your daughter. What kind of stuff do you grow? I want to hear from everybody because I think even Pack is talking about what they're growing. What have you grown this season? What are you proud of? I gotta know. Fruits, veggies, anything. One of my quests this winter is to start making breads too. I would love to make bread, especially with my father. My father loves convenient bread baking mixes, but I'd like to work on making like some rye or like a wheat loaf, something like that with them. I think it'd be great to grow chilies. Mash, you were the person who recommended all 4 of these chilies here, so. Hello, Harmless. Good luck with your run. And you have 2 apple trees. I'm so jealous. You are addicted to your bread machine. You gotta tell me about it, Jess. Because I want to make fun breads. I want to bake bread for my family. Also, if it's cheap, I wouldn't mind making bread instead of having to buy it, you know? A little tomatoes would be nice as well. I think something small, like a cherry tomato. I know how much you love your cherries, Mash. Oh yes. Actually, it might have been To Be Fair who recommended the shishito peppers. Somebody in the community really is all about shishito peppers. Maybe Keen. You're right. It is cheaper. Interesting. Fun bread. Yeah, fresh bread is godlike. My cousin, during the beginning stages of the pandemic, got a bread maker, and he just started like making bread like crazy. And then when I was visiting my aunt to help take care of her, I think it was either early this year or late last year, the bread machine was just sitting out. And I'm like, I didn't know you like making bread. And she's like, oh no, that's for your cousin. You know, he loves making bread and stuff. I'm like, damn, okay. I had no idea about that. This is the cousin, by the way, that gave me his SNES when we were kids. So he had his like Sega Dreamcast or whatever. He's like, I don't want to play these old games. So that's why I grew up gaming. It's because my cousin got bored of his SNES, and then I played Earthbound, and now I'm your problem. That's why I'm here. It's because of my cousin giving me his SNES. When it's fresh, when the bread is fresh and really hot, use your cool bread knife. Love Kerrygold, by the way. Love Kerrygold. You know, because we're like Irish. You know, we like to claim that Irishness. So we like the Kerrygold. My dad's like, that's the good Irish butter. If you lived in a sunnier climate, you would absolutely grow an olive tree. Yeah. I wonder if I can grow it in my climate. Life changing. I need one. Okay. Maybe I'll ask for one for Christmas. Everybody, thank you, cousin. You can't get Portuguese butter anywhere. What's the difference? Let's talk about some yellow squash in the meantime. I almost said slash squash. That's nothing. Let's talk about yellow squash. Now, there is a difference between yellow squash and zucchini, or like green squash. I think yellow squash is sometimes called summer squash as well. Have you heard of that? My dad swears he can tell the difference between zucchini and yellow squash. I cannot. They're the same thing to me, basically. I love them both. I love a good squash. But we can check the nutrient breakdown if you'd like. Zucchini and squashes grow extremely readily. You know, that's a great idea, Jess. I gotta go to the thrift store to find a jean jacket because I have a bunch of cute enamel pins. I also have like a little patch I want to iron onto it. Although my patch says lesbian werewolf on it, and I am not technically a lesbian, but I used to play one in a D&D game as a bi person. I'm like, I don't know if I can claim being a lesbian werewolf. It's just my character was a lesbian werewolf. And I was like, this is perfect. But I do have some Metal Gear patches, which is basically the same thing as being a lesbian werewolf anyway. You can't vote on mobile? Okay, Cage. So you're in the A territory. Hello, Ellie. It's so good to see you. Spinach is B. This is a community vote. This is a community vote. Otherwise, I would not have put black olives in F tier. So you're going to see in like, once we're done with these, I am going to shake the ground with my votes. People are going to be talking about this for like years. You're going to be like, I can't believe you made all these wild moves and disrespected the community chart. So your thoughts are you can claim it sometimes. You're in a femme-femme relationship, even though you're both pan. Yeah, there you go. I think I'd feel more comfortable if I was in like a femme-presenting or I'm not femme-presenting, but like a femme-femme relationship. Then I'd be like, yeah, let me put on my jacket. But in the meantime, I'm like, as my little solo dolo self, I'm like, people will ask you questions about my patch, and it won't be about being a werewolf. That's okay. We only have 3 votes for yellow squash. But we have, okay, but I'm gonna add your vote, Cage. You said you were in the A tier. What I do like though, what I'm very proud of wearing, Ellie, is I have like a Twitch still here, still queer shirt, and I also have my Let's Get Burgers Today community shirt, my LGBT community shirt, which is so funny. Okay, wow. I'm guessing that oh, you won't be able to bring your usual festive veggie passion tonight? I'm sorry to hear that, Quantum. I will do olives right by you, though. I will do it. I have had ghee. I don't find it to be spectacularly different than butter, but I do know it doesn't have the milk solids in it. Zalveris, you said S tier for that. We still only have 5 votes, so you know what? I'm going to redo this poll. Let's do a good, bad, and never had poll for yellow squash. We're gonna redo this. I will vote for it for you. By the way, I don't mind my dictatorial presence. You know I'm very good at overstepping that, so. But let's do good, bad, and never had for those of you who haven't had it. I do love yellow squash too. Have you ever grown any of that? I would love to grow a squash. I've only grown cucumbers and they turn out kind of like watery. I don't know if I'm growing the right kind of cukes. Listen, Ellie, I'm telling you, we are on the same page. To me, it's S tier. I love sweet potatoes. I think they're at least A tier, if not S tier. Because you can just stick that sucker in the microwave and then you've got a nice little starchy friend. But anywho, which is plenty of vegetables, plenty of fiber, lots of beta carotene. But this is the community vote. The community vote. I'm just glad that my community is getting a lot of different variety in the S tier. It could have just been potatoes, you know? Just glad folks are like, butternut squash. I'm like, okay, interesting. Very good. Oh dear, you don't like to bring the mood down, Quantum, but you feel the need to share somewhere. You've just heard a heartbreaking story from a really good friend of yours and you're just shaken. I am so sorry to hear that, Quantum. I'm terribly sorry, and don't feel like you have to put on a brave face and come to the... If you tell me what veg you want me to go to bat for, I'll go to bat for you. But yeah, I want to make sure that you, your heart's protected tonight. So Zalvaris, you would vote good. I'll put my vote in for you. That's going to be a 4. 2 people say bad, and then 4 have never had it. Yeah. It's caramel sweet potatoes, isn't it? Listen, a lot of folks, the reason why sweet potatoes are in C tier is because there was, I think, 6 votes for F tier and 6 votes for S tier. I really had to strike the difference. There was a strong anti-sweet potato coalition. So you all shared a hug together. You're very happy. You made her feel loved and cared for. And she is an utter bundle of joy. But now you've kind of... The group is disbanded. I'm assuming for... for the evening, you've disbanded. So you just have to wind down. That's tough. That's tough, Quantum. It's very difficult to put yourself in a position like that. To be vulnerable. To be listening to somebody. To be present for a conversation like that. Especially if it's a really difficult one. So, I get that. I totally get that. So, if you need to just soak up good vibes today, that's all good. Yeah. Yes, promise to try raw celery. I love raw celery! Alright, we have 4 for good and 4 for never had it. So, I say that squash, yellow squash, is... Because I've had it and I love it. Have some grown-up sweet potatoes. Yeah. Yes, because some folks have had like the canned stuff. Yeah. It can be tough. And as you know, Ellie, as like queer people, sometimes it's hard to be at that Thanksgiving table. It's hard to feel the exclusion and then be reminded of it. I think one of our wonderful community members, Smee, was bringing that up. Like, as a queer person, it's hard to sometimes eat foods you associate with the holidays and then like combat those feelings. So I get that, but there's also some joy in reclaiming those things, saying like, sure, that's how you did sweet potatoes, but I'm putting my sweet potatoes in a curry. You know, Aunt Marjorie would never have approved of this. That's why I'm doing it with my significant life partner or whatever. You know. Screw my melancholy. F sweet potatoes all the way to heck with it. Alright, but we're not litigating sweet potatoes. We're talking about squash, alright? You're gonna make me get feisty about squash. I'm putting it A tier now. Alright? It's good! It's starchy. Let me tell you what kind of nutrients we got in the squash, alright? This might inspire some of you to have it. Okay, folks like To Be Fair haven't had a lot of veggies, so they're looking for some recommendations on how to prepare them. Yellow squash is fantastic sauteed. It's great baked as well. If you toss it with a little olive oil, black pepper, and salt, and you bake it, kind of roast it in the oven a little bit. I would say kind of cut it down vertically and then cut it into like half moon shapes. Toss it with salt and pepper, roast it in the oven until it's like brown on at least one side. You can also saute it in a pan much the same way, salt and pepper, etc., etc. It makes for a really nice side because it's starchy, but it's also a veg. So, yellow squash, let me tell you about the nutrients we got going on. Called summer squash. Okay. Let me type in nutrients. So, The little lemon butter sauce, you know what will be nice? If you want to skip the butter too, if you have zested lemon, I am getting into like zesting a lemon and tossing roasted carrots in it. Love that. So I wonder if that would be good for the yellow squash too. Let's see. So I actually have some squash in the ratatouille I was eating for a snack today. And in 2 minutes I gotta go feed my dog. I'll just let y'all know that. It's got 2 grams of fiber in a medium raw yellow squash. It's got 2 grams of protein, so it's not packing a huge protein punch like peas or broccoli. It's got 56% of your daily intake of vitamin C, 15% of your daily intake of potassium, 14% of your intake of folate, which is a B vitamin if I'm not mistaken. Vitamins K and B, it's got 10% of those. Got a good amount of iron, 10% of your iron intake. Vitamin A, magnesium, phosphorus, and riboflavin has about 7 to 8% of that, so not bad at all. Great antioxidants, great source of vitamin C, good iron and folate. That's great for your blood cell count and production. It's good for preventing anemia, helps your nervous system, all this kind of stuff. It's got newt trees and ants in it, indeed. Yeah, lemony carrots are kind of good though. But I do love the butter. I just know some folks have like certain intakes that they gotta watch out for. So you heard riboflavin is good for the chesticles? Really? Is it? I don't know anything about that. I should know though. Lemon on veg is so good, and I'm not sponsored by HelloFresh right now, Ellie. I was maybe about a year or so ago, but I still cook their stuff, and they taught me about zesting a lemon and tossing your veg in it. Other than that, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna have my salted and or buttered veg. Although lemon butter broccoli has been a staple in my family since childhood. But I didn't know about the power of the zest. I just thought that was something you put in like sweet things. Yeah. So it is 7 p.m. My phone will go off now. They tell me to go feed my dog. So I do have to take a short break before we get to zucchini. We got some bangers here though left. Tomatoes, we have some peppers, turnip, and zucchini. I'm very curious about the community perception of zucchini. Normally I don't take 2 breaks a night. Usually now is when I would take my dinner break. But I was starving because we're talking about vegetables. So I've already eaten. This is going to be a very quick break. Let me see if the ad needs to run now. We got 18 minutes of next ad. I'll be up here in less than 5 minutes. I'm betting you. So I'm just going to let the music run, let the break screen run, and I'll see you all at about 5. Unless my dog is finicky, and then maybe it'll be 6. Thinking about, oh yes, that's right. Let me drop the marker. So we are doing our BROCTOBER vegetable ranking stream. This has taken 2 days to do. We started last Friday, continuing this Friday, of course. And the next community ranking stream is going to be Yes Nut November and Legumes. Yes Nut and Legumes November. So, if you have strong feelings about peanuts, Brazil nuts, almonds, cashews, hazelnuts, sometimes called filberts, you should let me know next month, of course. It'll probably be, I think it's gonna be like November 17th. Yeah, it'll be the 17th. It'll be like the third Friday in November. Yeah, it's a good title, thanks. I think I came up with that as a joke when we were ranking fruit, and I was like, hold on now, wait a minute. Actually, that'll be hilarious. We have to do it. So, Yes Nut November, that'll again be next month. Right now, we still have a few choice of veggies to go. Kind of a huge one coming up. First, we gotta start off with zucchini. Very much like the yellow squash. It's a great squash, I must say. It was a clippable moment. Indeed, you did clip it. Zucchini should theoretically be the last one that we rank, but because we have some community added peppers, those will probably be last. But what do y'all think of Zooks? You can do anything with these guys. I know a lot of farmers. Did Stella get any pets? Yes, she got tons of ear scratches. She loved it. Yeah, it's called courgette, isn't it? Now, the zucchini came to America by way of Italian immigrants. That's why we call it zucchini here instead of the English courgette, which takes from the French. Anyway, it's a long linguistic story. You should make a newspaper cartoon of Stella and your cat Irish living together and solving crimes called the Unpettables. Yeah, Stella doesn't like being pet by other people, but she will accept the ear scratches. She loves them. So zucchinis, they are prolific, abundant, starchy. They're a squash, like the yellow squash. And hardy, though. I mean, they cook up very well. They're a friend to onions and peppers. You throw them in a pan. You can toss them in some pasta. You can saute them. You can roast them. I would probably slice them no matter what preparation you're going to do. Oh, but you could cut them into boats. True. You're about to cook sweet potatoes for all these haters, the tater haters. I hope you do, Ellie. I hope you do. You suck at distinguishing a zucchini from a cucumber visually. On the exterior, they do look similar. However, Morphinius, Pikmin 4, actually, I think it was Pikmin 3. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4. Probably 4. Taught me the key distinguishing feature. The key distinguishing feature of a zucchini that differs from the cucumber is its crew cut hat. It has a little hat. It's got a cool little, like, cap on the end. It's called a crew cut vegetable in Pikmin 4, and I think that's very clever because it has, like, kind of a flat cut stem to it. You won't find that on cucumber. It just sort of comes to a round end. Let me turn on. Thank you so much, Alex, for the captions. I appreciate that. And wait a minute. Interesting. Such an even spread here. We have 2 votes for B tier. Can I ask how many of you could just put a 1 in the chat if you haven't had a zucchini before? That's totally fine. I'm not going to judge you at all. But really a wild spread. 1 for D, 1 for C, 1 for A, 1 for S, and 2 for B. And you forgot to vote? That's okay. No worries. You will judge people though. Well, some folks may not be able to get zucchinis where they are. I don't know. I'm not sure about the climates in which they grow. I think they grow in a very large range of climates. You would be in the A tier. Oh, yes, that's right. Some folks are on mobile, so they can't vote. So you're free to say in the chat also, if you say, like, I can't vote, but this is how I feel. You're not a huge fan of it. You tend to avoid as a strange form of starchy cucumber. You are a cucumber hater. I think it only, like, visually resembles a cucumber. I think it's very different in texture. I don't think they're, like, biologically related, are they? Because cucumbers are not squash. A zucchini is closer to a gourd than it is a cucumber in preparation. What is this health blizzard you're talking about, Manny? Are you making some sort of smoothie? You can vote, but you forgot. It would be an A. Okay, so that's 2 more for A, which would put it at 3 for A, 2 for B. You're not a gourd goth. I'm a big fan of gourds. I just think gourds are important, okay? Gourds are so important. Like, socially, for the human development, gourds were, like, the way we gathered seeds and could carry potable water was through gourds. So, like, you gotta give it up for the gourd. But anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a heath blizzard. I thought it was a health blizzard. I'm so sorry. I was like, are you making a healthy version of the blizzard? Heath blizzard from the Dairy Queen. Enjoy. That has no veggies in it, I'm pretty sure. Oh, on mobile, you need to refresh to see the poll. Where would we be without cubito, squashes, and gourds? I did not know about... What is that is that a Spanish word? What is cubito? That says Heath Blizzard. Sorry, I thought it was health. My bad. You read his health as well. That Sekiro gourd. Folks are storing like booze and whatnot in it. It's important. It is the opposite of a health blizzard. Well, with those 2 votes reported in chat, zucchini would be an A tier fruit. And I have to say, I agree. I think they're great. They're ready replication. Like, zucchini is out here copy pasting itself all the time. If you grow zucchini, you will be sick of zucchini. But you can shred it and put it into baking mixes. You can make zucchini brownies, breads, pretty much any damn baked good product. You can shred some zucchini in there for some extra fiber and vegetable content that you can't even taste. It's pretty amazing. I am fruit pilled. It is always fruit time. Yeah, this is true. And I mean, technically, I don't know where zucchini lies. I don't know if it's a fruit or vegetable or a gourd or whatever. But I love it. And we didn't have any naysayers for the zooks. So I'm going to go with it being A tier due to the votes. It might be on the lower side of A since we had so many B tier votes. But I think it belongs up there. It's a fantastic vegetable. Let me tell you about the vitamin content since we need to maybe influence some folks to eat some zucchinis. Zucchini vitamin content. If you have like a neighborhood garden and you can contribute to it, I would suggest growing zucchini because, like I said, it grows so readily. You'll be able to feed everybody in your neighborhood with your zucchini plant. I am guaranteeing you. Zucchini has 392 IU of vitamin A. That's pretty impressive. It is rich in manganese as well. It's at 40% of your daily intake of vitamin A. Not so high in fiber. It says it's got 1 gram of fiber for 1 cup of cooked zucchini. But manganese, 16%, vitamin C, 14%, potassium and magnesium, good percentage on that. Vitamin B6, thiamine, phosphorus. It has copper and folate in it as well. And vitamin K, which I hear is great. You need to take like either K and potassium together or K and magnesium together to like help its processing or something. Yes, and you know what? You can ribbon it and turn it into pasta, to be fair. If you can't do pasta, if you can't do starches because you're on like you have a special diet, can't do gluten and stuff like that, you can make ribbons of it with a vegetable peeler and saute it, and then you got some great noodles right there. You can call them zoodles. You agree with it being A tier, yeah. It's a good go-to veg. And it's pretty darn cheap too because it grows so prolifically. So if you want a way to get zucchini in your diet, you're not a fan of flavor, you can grate it and bake it into brownies. There you go. And then you're making it healthier, just a little bit healthier. If you're trying to incorporate more veg into your diet, hiding it in a sweet thing, that's a cheat code to me. You had pho with zucchini noodles and it was delicious. I love pho. That sounds so cool. Zucchinis don't want to be cucumber. They're doing different things. They got the same hair color, but they're doing different things. They're like wicked different. Super different. They just kind of somewhat visually resemble each other because they're a tube-shaped green veg. It'd be like saying that cabbage is like a better lettuce or something. I don't know. Like, they look alike, but they're doing different stuff. You know? I think they're vastly different. We have just 6 veg to discuss. Turnips are one that I don't have a lot of experience with, so I'm going to do for our poll. I'm going to combine probably A tier and B tier. So let's do turnip. And you can tell me in chat that you can't vote in the poll and just say, here's my vote, and I'll try plugging in for you, okay? So I'm going to do S tier, A tier, B tier, C, D, and F tier, and then I'm going to do never had in case some folks haven't had turnips. Turnips, the true poverty savior. I believe that the tradition of carving jack-o'-lanterns in Ireland dates back to carving turnips, if I'm not mistaken. Seeing as parsnips aren't here and parsnips are just small turnips, you're going to vote as if they're parsnips. I will allow it. If you'd like to vote for parsnips instead or in addition, you may do the same as well. But let me fact check this about Irish jack-o'-lantern turnip carving. Oh, this is truly demonic and scary looking. But it is, in fact, the tradition. This is from the Smithsonian Magazine. Here you can read a new story. You can hit continue without supporting us, by the way, so you don't have to pay for it. But here's from the Smithsonian. People used to carve turnips instead of... Oh, the ad break is hitting. I'm so sorry. People used to carve turnips instead of pumpkins for Halloween. Revelers in Ireland transformed the root vegetables into lanterns to ward off dark spirits. The turnip that has been carved is truly terrifying. It's got teeth and eyes and like 2 slits down its face for maybe nostrils or a nose shape. But it's from Donegal, Ireland, and I think that's beautiful. And so, of course, you can tell why my family really loves Halloween. Because we're Irish American. Okay, so... Oh, we actually have quite a few votes. Interesting. 4 votes for C tier. 3 votes for A and B tier. 1 vote for S tier. Nothing for D and F. No turnip haters out there. But 3 votes for never had it. Interesting. We'd still have more people who have had it, so... Probably have had turnips in something. It might have been in a fall root vegetable like roast deal. Zalvarius, you managed to vote. Turnips are okay. You'll enjoy them if they're in front of you, but you don't really choose them on your own. Yeah. Used to carve turnips as a kid in Scotland. Cool, Haxon. Love that. Very cool. Glad the tradition is still alive. Aliens are real from that image, certainly. This is Alien Remains level curse. It is scary, right? Okay. That looks scary, right? Hello, Fernarily. Good to see you. So, we have 4 votes for C tier and 3 votes for A tier, 1 vote for S. Oh, heck is Neeps? That's what turnips are? I think I heard that in Neopets, and I was like, what are Neeps? But they're turnips. Turnips. Okay. It's looking like C tier might be where the turnip lies. Due to the votes. Neeps, you hadn't heard that in a while, had you, Mash? But now you know. Kind of nostalgic, huh? I am going to challenge myself to have turnips and soybeans. These are some veg that we have put up here I haven't had before. Of course, I'm going to try okra, bok choy. I've had it in the fridge and we never cooked it and it went bad and I felt so bad. A radicchio, might give it a shot. I don't know if I can do lotus root though because of the holes in it. Little scary. But turnips at C tier. Now, folks who like turnips, what do you feel about pushing them up to A tier? Folks who voted C tier, what's holding you back from putting it in B? I'd like to hear where that lies. Because I think the next few are going to go pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, as someone who hasn't had it, I guess it could be C tier. Personally, when it comes to radishes, you like daikon or the big white radish a lot better than regular small radishes, but you wonder if that comes down to the cooking method. Yeah, because often here, at least in America, Zalvarius, the red radishes are eaten raw, whereas like a daikon is used in like soups and stews and stuff, you know. I'm not a big fan of raw radishes. Oh no, my bangs are doing a weird thing. Not seeing a lot from the turnip lovers telling me why it shouldn't be C tier, so it might just have to languish there. Alrighty, my bangs are getting all PC. Don't know why they're doing this to me. I expect this to go very well in terms of tomatoes. They're nice and crispy in a roast. Okay, so you use it in like a roast chicken or a roast turkey or like a roast beef, maybe even a ham thing where you cut up all your veg and you put it on the bottom of the pan. You put the roast in the center and you enjoy it. For me, for roasts, we usually do celery, carrots, potatoes, onion, that kind of thing. Those are our traditional roast veg. They're a bit like... Oh, okay, so they... UK chips, as in fries. Okay. Interesting. Alright, I'll put them up to a B. You convinced me. Very versatile. You can boil it, mash it, stick it in stew, rice it, bake it, fry it. Okay. It's the potato, basically. They go well with carrots as well. Okay, I'm gonna try some turnips then. My mom won't be happy because I don't think she really likes turnips or like parsnips or anything. But I think we're due for another try because root vegetables are great because you can grow them in the colder seasons. So you like broccoli and potato with chicken thighs for the sheep pan roast, and then you season it with za'atar. Oh yeah, za'atar is a great seasoning for sure. Try parsnips. Turnips are a little less lovely. Okay. But maybe they're... As something I can grow myself, maybe I can grow to appreciate it. Mash. But you know what? I prefer steamed broccoli over roasted broccoli. I just don't like the crispy texture of it. I don't like it when the florets get crispy. It's not for me. But it is like a very common and good preparation of it. I would be shocked if this goes poorly. But for the last labeled vegetable, then we'll get to the peppers. Tomatoes? I mean, tomatoes to me are S tier. I would be shocked if they go another way, honestly. Oops, I put V tier on it. That's not a ranking. I'd be shocked if people don't like tomatoes. However, I do realize somebody might like the acid of them may not be good. It is a member of the nightshade family, so humans can have different interactions with that, like allergic reactions to that. I totally understand that if that's why you don't like tomatoes. But like pizza, ketchup, pasta sauce, ratatouille, put them on a salad, a BLT. It grows so easy. It is a food that is native to the Americas. You don't like tomatoes, but you like a lot of tomato stuff. I think applications is valid for this. Because, like, soybean got real high up. Not just because we like eating soybeans, but, like, tofu, soy milk, all this stuff. Applications are a very valid vector of voting. It's a lot of V's. But, yeah. You hate tomatoes. But it gets a C tier because of all the things it could become. You know. And thank you, Lurky. I do need to drink some water. Big tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, vine tomatoes. Just a simple act of growing tomatoes. You feel like a real gardener when you're growing tomatoes, I tell you. Some don't like the mouthfeel. I get that. There's a part of a tomato that definitely looks like goldfish brains. You ever seen the goldfish that have the little see-through brains? I don't like that. And sometimes that can yuck me out. I actually don't like a sliced tomato on a salad. And unless I grow cherry tomatoes myself, not to be fair with that freaking tomato emote, unless I grow cherry tomatoes myself, I don't like them. If I grow them myself, I'll eat those suckers right. I'll get the hose, I'll wash them off, and I'll eat them right there. They're so good. You hated tomatoes raw or sliced as a kid. It's fine with pasta, pizza, ketchup, but now you're okay with them. You wouldn't ask for it, but acid and you are not good friends. So you opt for the white sauce on pasta. Somebody else was saying something similar earlier, Kat. I get that, you know, especially as folks get older, I find that you can develop like acid reflux and stuff a lot more readily. And then you're like, what is in my diet that's causing this? And you're like, oh no, it's everything I love, tomatoes. So the insides of a fresh tomato are disgusting texture and flavor wise to you. Oh, I see. I like them though. You know, also store-bought tomatoes kind of suck. Okay, they're not as good as homegrown tomatoes, but I do realize not everybody has the square footage to like dedicate to growing some tomatoes. It might be in an apartment, you may not have good soil conditions, you may have terrible weather conditions, can't always grow your own food. There's something very different. Tomatoes taste like sunshine to me when I eat them and they grow from my home. They're like sunshine and happiness in the summer, like personified. Store-bought tomatoes, whatever. They're kind of whatever. But that's an easy S tier, honestly. 7 votes for S tier, 3 for B, only 1 for A, only 1 for D, 2 for C. It's a very strong S tier here. I will do that. A good tomato lurkey. I will slice that sucker and I'll put some salt in it. That's all it needs. A tomato sandwich is just mayonnaise? You homegrown tomato, like a beefsteak tomato, a mortgage lifter tomato, slice that sucker, get a little layer of mayo on it, some sandwich, maybe toast it, maybe don't. If you're running out the door to go harvest some more stuff, that's good stuff to me. You're the lonely B tier, gotcha. Tomatoes and mayo. I used to be a mayo hater. Something changed. Something changed within me. Yeah, tomatoes are a sunshine veggie. They need the heat and the sun. But they're so good. I love them. You know, if you can't get personally grown tomatoes, you might be able to find really good tomatoes at a farmer's market, to be fair. if you have local farmers market or fresh produce stands, or even just a guy selling, have you ever, I don't know if this is a phenomenon. Sometimes I'll see things in my state and I'll be like, oh, everybody has a snowball dispenser in every corner, right? Like everyone has snowballs, and it's like, oh, that's not a thing. Okay. Instead, do you all ever, when you're like driving home or something, do you ever see like a guy in a truck and he's selling like produce out of the back of his car? Is that a thing outside of my state? I don't know. It's questionably legal, but it's usually like the farmer themselves, and they've just got crates of tomatoes, melons, damn near everything, you know? The Tomato Man. A furtive creature, the Tomato Man. You don't care for raw tomatoes, but cooked in a sauce? So good, right? Yeah, acid and fat. That's what really makes it, Ellie. That's what makes a tomato sandwich with a little bit of mayo so good. Local farms sell fresh produce around here, but you gotta go to the... Okay, they don't do farmers markets, Mash? Shucks. In Iowa, it's the revered sweet corn truck. Yes. Ooh, that fresh corn from a farm, yeah. And Lurky says you gotta be careful with farmers markets. Since the items are more expensive than regular grocery grade, less honest people will buy it at a store and resell it. Yes, some of them are unscrupulous, so always do check the prices and don't ever pay more just because it's at a farmer's market. To be honest, it probably will be at price or less expensive. And one of our community members, catastrophically Emma, was saying that farmers markets in their area accept food stamps. Which I think is a fantastic initiative, and Emma had proved how it had boosted her local economy as well. So by granting people with food stamps the ability to buy food from farmers markets, there was like a 10-fold increase in the local agricultural industry. So check that out. But it is a very good point, Lurky. Some folks will buy... One of the dead giveaways is you'll see something like bananas there, and you're like, I know you didn't grow bananas up in Massachusetts, okay? What are these bananas doing here in Boston? So if you know seasonally what should be available at that time, that's a good giveaway. But also, one of the homesteaders I was watching the video of says she always asks the produce sellers, like, what you grow, what are your growing practices, what's the soil conditions like on your farm, just asking questions about how they grow things, and usually they'll fess up. Like, if they know what they're talking about, then you know that they actually grew their food. But if they're just like, I put it in the dirt and I put water on it, then maybe not. During the summer, there's 2 farmers markets. It's about the same price as grocery stores, but then the quality might be better, right, Zalvarius? Oh, yes, co-ops. Yes. Or CSAs. That's a co-op, right? Like community-supported agriculture, when you can, like, opt in and they drop off just a box of whatever veg at your door. That's cool. I gotta try that myself. The bananas fell off a truck. Forget about it. That happens there more, Phineas. Sometimes a farmer just hops on a truck and drives around town, blasting popular music while talking about their produce. The ice cream man of, like, kale or whatever. That's so great. And then it stops and people can purchase them. Doesn't happen in the downtown area, but it's quite common in your residential. I love that, Morphinius. That's so funny. That is like our American phenomenon of the ice cream man. All right, we have now 4 community suggested veggies, and these of course are all peppers. So technically, you know, they veg. Who cares? We treat them that way. So I am out of water, so I'll have to go get water soon. Oh, I'm so foolish. I should have gotten that when I fed my dog. This has never happened. You want it to happen to you? To have somebody drive around blasting, like, Padam Padam by Kylie Minogue. And, saying, like, buy my potatoes. Padam Padam. I hear it and I know. And you're like, what? Sure, I'll buy your peppers. Why not? You eat all the peppers and run. How dare you? I also don't have that GIF anymore. I'm sad. I should have had it for this one. But let's talk about... Now, this is the cayenne pepper. Keep in mind, we will be doing a spice and herb tier list sometime after our Yes Nut and Legume November. But just in terms of vegetable preparations, oh, you know what I'll do? S and A tier. Well, I feel like S should stand on its own. We'll do A and B, C, D and F, and then never had. Because I have to tell you, I don't know if I've had cayenne peppers on their own. Should we talk about applications of it? Should we talk about, like, is that why you wanted to bring it to the forefront, Mash? 2 live crew and turnips. Gotcha. You okay? Okay, now, but this is spices, though. You don't eat it on its own. It's all applications. Wait a minute. It's also hot sauce ingredient. Wait a minute. Because then I think it belongs in the spices. Because are we not eating it on its own? What is required? Well, hold on. Sorry. There is like 6 S tier votes, so it doesn't matter what my opinion is. When you mention popular, it's like the songs you hear at popular parties, so the old folks dance. Okay. It's the equivalent of country songs. Then it is kind of like the Ice Cream Man. There would be like ragtime music, like da na 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 do 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 do, like that kind of music playing, or like playing for the Ice Cream Man. Various like ragtime songs and stuff. So it is like kind of old folks music. Not like, you know, whatever the latest pop folks are. Does JoJo see why I make music? I have no idea. So it's like folk kind of music. You're considering the applications in all the votings? Okay, then I would say cayenne peppers are valid, and I guess they're S tier. They got 6 votes. It's only 2 votes for A tier. 1 vote for somebody saying they never had it. 1 vote for C and 1 vote for D. Cayenne rules, according to an old poem, it's also good for deterring police dogs. Is it? An old poem you have read. Is that so? I had no idea. Sounds like a cool poem. Cayenne is good for deterring animals of all kinds, in fact. If you want to keep deer from eating your azaleas, for example, you can shake some hot sauce or cayenne pepper on it, and the deer will not eat your delicious, crunchy vegetable plants. Cayenne is also good in hot sauce applications for that, but you do have to reapply it after it rains, no matter what, whether it's the powder form or the pepper form. And also, if you want to keep dogs from getting on, as Akmir is saying, putting it in the kitchen sink to deter the dogs from breaking dishes, it does keep animals away because they sniff it and they're like, oh, this is bad. You can't take a lot of heat, so spicy peppers are more about your appreciation of it. You just feel like as a concept, you're like, conceptually this is cool, but like for my body, no. You just bought 64 fluid ounces of hot sauce. Are these separate hot sauces, like a fleet of them, harmless, or is it like a 64 ounce bottle? Oh, okay. It's a bit different. It's like folk songs have a spicy double entendre in the lyrics. Something like 3 chords you find yourself singing near the 3rd chorus or so. Fascinating. I would love to hear one of these songs for Phineas. Okay, 1 big vat of it. What's a brand of hot sauce? Use Snake Away. It keeps varmints from eating your plants. Good to know. I might have to use that. Not birds, though. Yes, this is very true. Solitary Jordan brings up a good point. Birds don't give a damn about spicy. They don't care at all. They at least have evolved the ability not to be bothered by it. So they will sit there and they will eat a pepper. So, November is coming. What is this? The nut button. You know, can you remind me of that maybe the 3rd week of November? Because I don't know if I want just a nut button on the channel. I don't know if I trust you all to use the nut button responsibly here. Please do more, Phineas. Now I can't actually. Would you be able to share it in the Discord, or if you share it here, somebody can copy it into the Discord? Because if I open it right now, it'll open up right here on my monitor that's being captured. So yes, maybe Lurky. We'll do yes in November, maybe the 2nd week. I'll enable it for the 2nd week, a whole week before I rate all the nuts and legumes. But no, I don't trust you all to be good with nuts. I don't trust it. Even though I do have a lovely bag of pistachios my father gave me. We gotta get through these peppers though, folks. Next up is chili peppers. The red hot and the green chili peppers. What do y'all think of red, green chili peppers? What's the not chile? Okay, it must be chili then. Red hot chili peppers. S A B C D and F tier. Every pepper is an S tier. It's all S tier from now on. And thank you for this. Sons Domingo and Jose Malhoa. I'm excited to hear this. Thank you. You'll share it on Discord. Do I mind repeating the best part to put the song in? Oh, the best section of the Discord? Probably in music, or you could just put it in general and at me there, and I'll listen to it. But make sure to at me wherever you put it so I can find it. What kind of chili peppers? These are red and green chili peppers. Okay, you looked at the poem you're thinking of. It was Sonny Patterson on Def Jam Poetry. I love that. Okay, let me look this up. Sonny Patterson, Def Jam Poetry, Police Dogs poem. I'm gonna have to read this. I think it's called We Made It. Okay. Before Cayenne around the perimeter of the building, keep the police dogs at bay. Yeah. My mom sometimes does that if she sees the neighbors getting a little too feisty with their dog and letting them up in our garden bed. She'll just be like, okay, I'm just gonna put this little Cayenne around our garden bed because you shouldn't be like 8 feet into our property letting the dog poop into a place that we make food. You know? Are Cayenne chili peppers? Well, wait, Cayenne are chili peppers? I think I don't know. I don't know because I don't eat these things straight up. I thought red chili, they might be the same damn thing. I don't know. Can we get an explanation? Jalapeno, Serrano, Anaheim, Cayenne, Poblano, Habero. You hate half of them. Do you love the other half? Well, okay. Then I don't know the distinction. I don't know the distinction. I don't grow chili peppers, unfortunately. So, are we just looking at it, are red and green chilies just a common name for a different variety? Red and green, how right they are. And then are they just, but they're not jalapenos. Are they? Whatever. They were voted for S tier, so if these two are the same thing as this thing, sure. But jalapenos are kind of stubby. These are long boys. You know? I do know about the red and green being how ripe they are. Like, I understand that. It's like green bell peppers, red bell peppers. It's just a different variety of ripeness. But, like, I don't know what a green or red chili is. I don't know if it's just the capsaicin piperum or whatever. I do not know. I'm not a person who goes out and buys chili peppers. I apologize. I sometimes get like a banana pepper because it's kind of sweet. But I just know that the smaller they are, the spicier they are. So I try to go for the long green ones. I'm aware of this, Solitary Jordan. However, like, could anybody tell me what variety of pepper this is right here? Oh, the only thing I know about this is I got a string of Christmas lights that look a lot like it. So if y'all got a problem with red and green chili peppers, blame Nowhere Mash, who said you need to put red and green chili peppers on there. And I said, okay, boss. I'm putting red and green chili peppers on there. Don't get mad at me. I'm ignorant. Alright? Just putting stuff. I'm trying to make the community happy. Obviously, it's a Christmas pepper. It's a Christmas. Because it's red and green. Ghost Murder Chili X is just a variant. Not that X pepper. That's too much. I am behind my camera now. Oh! That's right. Let me bring myself down here. Now that we're like... I'm not covering anything up over here anymore. There we go. Now you can see. You wanted generic chili peppers to cover all the beautiful... Okay. This is generic peppers, says Mash. Just the idea, the concept of peppers that aren't shishito or habanero. Or the one we just voted for, cayenne. There's just any and all peppers. The lovely platonic ideal of peppers. The concept of peppers. Straight to here. Do we need to relitigate this? Should we get rid of just the concept of peppers because it's not like it's not enough? What do we do? Yeah, the philosophical perfect pepper. The Pied Piper of peppers. A pack of peppers that Percy would pick. Peppers are different. They are. I guess it would be just like saying fruits. The ghost of peppers past should definitely be in the Christmas Carol. You know what? We'll move on. You know, I don't really care about peppers. They're great. They do a good job seasoning things. I like them in the spicy dry format, but I'm not like munching down on a pepper. I'm not that kind of person. Personally. Where you have fruit time, where I have fruit time, you have pepper time. I see. Me saying a tongue twister could be a fun redemption. Not a bad idea, to be fair. You munch on bell peppers? I do too. I'm not munching on just a chili pepper, though. Peppers as a concept, S tier. We'll keep it at that then. We have 2 left to go. Habanero peppers and shishito peppers. Habanero. Now, I will do for these last 2. S, A, and B. C, D, and F. And then never had them. Just in case. We have some folks who haven't tried habaneros yet. Did I say I didn't care about peppers? I said that I like peppers. I don't cook with them regularly. Cook with them now and then, but I'll usually just use a jalapeno or a banana pepper. None of the peppers here I'm like bonkers about. So you still get a kick out of these herbs because they are. You have some habanero hot sauce right here. It's lovely. It tastes more fruity than some. Interesting. Really? Technically, peppers are herbs. I guess. But so are bananas. Alright. Use them in cooking rather than cooking. Okay, no, that's different. Because bell peppers you slice and you eat. And if we're saying all peppers are like that, then no. No. We will still talk about a lot of these when we do these are herbs and spices, dude, December or whatever we're doing. However, I can't relitigate peppers. All right, they're fruits. They're fruits. The concept of peppers walks in the herb category. I can't with you. I can't with you right now. Sliced jalapeno and serrano are very common. Yeah, pickled jalapenos, people eat those all the time. Habaneros are going to get S tier unless the anti-pepper people perk up and put their votes into the polls. I'm really testing my plosives today. Her herbal hierarchy list. We got it. Maybe I can get a deal with KFC and we'll do like the 7 herbs and spices tier list or something. You and your friend used to go to a local takeaway and ask for raw peppers while waiting for your order. Did they stand and watch you eat raw peppers? And they're like, who would do this? I do see these 4 votes. Interesting. We do have 4 votes between C and F tier. So, would it be more judicious to put habanero at A tier? Would that be a better spread? Or S tier folks, can you argue why it isn't A tier? Why it has to be S tier? Habaneros are too spicy sometimes and don't have enough flavor. Okay, Solitary Jordan says S tier is a little too much. Interesting. Do you think A tier is successful? There is 6 S tier and 5 below it. They are simply S tier. As an F voter, you would settle for B. A tier is too long, okay? Because it's too long, you think we should put it just an S anyway? It is fun to say habanero. It's very true. Flavor is incredible. Easily the best tasting pepper. No S for habanero, though, says. And no B either. I think I would have had a pickled habanero once. But pickling peppers is not my favorite thing to do because it's already spicy and then you add the zing to it and you're like... It's a lot for the mouth. technically, so we had 6 for S, and then there were like B, C, and D votes. I think that would pull it to A. I think it'd pull it to A. Pickled peppers are delicious. I do like a pickled pimento. In an olive, of course. Some pepper snake. Listen, you pepper people have 3 peppers up here, okay? And shishito peppers are next. We gotta start making some room for some other things. S tier can't always be peppers. Not every pepper can make it, okay? Some peppers gotta get left behind. You know? The mean would be B or C. Okay. Statistically. There's a pepper coup, okay? The peppers are overthrowing this. They weren't even on the tier list. I added them specially, okay? Making me sneeze all this pepper. Let's end this with shishito peppers. Now I will do S, A, and B, C, D, and F, and then never had, because I don't know if a lot of people have had shishito peppers. So this might be in a haven't tried it yet. You would kick out butternut squash and cucumbers to make room for more chilies? That's pepper folks for you. Pepper people. A is okay, it's not your favorite, but it is very good. Okay. Because I mean, like, there's some great veg at A tier, okay? There's some really good veg at A tier. You would kick out every single fruit on this tier list just to get rid of the peppers, but didn't you say you like the bell peppers? You would sacrifice bell peppers just to spite the spicy peppers? That's wild. Okay, most people have never had shishito peppers. Neither have I. So again, I think it's gonna, unless somehow 7 people come out of the woodworks and say shishito peppers are the bomb diggity. Now, apparently shishito peppers are kind of similar to jalapenos in flavor. They're mostly prepared charred. That's probably a good idea. Swap peas and sugar snap peas. You have never had a good snap pea. Interesting, Marky. Very interesting. Pepper propositions, procurations, properly prepared, positive pepper perception. That sounds like a great company name. Pepper propositions, procurations, limited, or something like that. Most folks, it seems like, have not had shishito. Where's your boy Cabbage on the tier list? A solid A. A strong A, Corey. Strong A. Now, these are, of course, largely alphabetically arranged, just so you know. Corey, welcome back. Thank you so very much for the 63 months. What do you think about this tier list, Corey? Because I'm about to shake things up. It's 8 p.m. nearly. I'm getting sleepy. So it's time for me to get cranky. Cranky old woman Tina's coming out. Cranky and tired and hungry. Okra isn't a grain or grass thing? No, it's not. It is a kind of like, it's a seed pod essentially. Hope we get our first D tier. It seems like well, actually maybe I will get a D tier in here. Speaking of peas, can we end the night with Liza P? I don't have the stream set up for that. I do have the stream set up for some Pikmin 4, which does start with a P. But I was thinking actually after this, I might wrap up early because I'm tired and my voice hurts. You can probably throw corn in D. Not a big corn fan, ambulance? Shocked. What about the Pisively? Okay, I would play Pisively right now if I could. Oh, here we go. Wait, hold on, Corey. I think we've got this one recently. You know what we haven't seen recently? Guiding Through the Currents. This is very like fish ooh to me. That like emote with the fish going like, you know. You got Gliding Through Currents, Corey. Gliding Through Currents. I think these are like manta rays or something. Anybody know? So cool. It says, with a different approach, you will glide through a situation with grace and ease, Corey. Going inward and bringing your understanding, perspective, or behavior into flow will help your dreams take flights. Yeah. It's a strange looking creature, huh? Think about that, Corey. See how that might apply to you in the next month or so. Alright. Get a good screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this, somebody. Because I'm about to shake things up. Alright? This is what you, the community, think. I'll read through it one more time. Oh, I gotta turn my light back on before I disappear into the background. This is what you, the community, thinks of vegetables. Artichokes, broccolis, red, orange, and yellow bell peppers, butternut squash, garlic, cucumber, corn, carrots, mushrooms, potatoes, sugar snap peas, tomatoes, jalapenos, cayenne peppers, and just the platonic ideal of peppers are all S tier. Can you believe it, Lurky? This is the pumpkins month. I even wore a pumpkin dress last month. Or, I'm sorry, last Friday, which was the first Brocktober, but, like, I get it. I get it. We don't eat a lot of it, but it is fun. I must make an evil face. Oh, of course I will. When I'm rearranging things, of course I will. For A tier stuff, we have arugula, sometimes called rockets, asparagus, green bell peppers, Brussels sprouts, eggplants, cauliflowers, collard greens, cabbage, which, by the way, cauliflowers and collard greens swap positions with green lettuce leaf. Lettuce leaf was like A tier, and then due to the cauliflower and the collard greens and cabbage council, the community got together and they voted it to be a higher tier than the green leaf lettuce. Green beans, onions, of pretty much every variety, whether it be yellow, white, red, scallion, or shallot, those are all A tier. So are green olives, peas, soybeans, yellow squash, and zucchini, and habanero peppers. Without cabbage, you can't get a proper pulled pork sandwich. I love cabbage. I do. I didn't always love cabbage, but it's a great cheap veggie, and it's also a fantastic cruciferous vegetable. Like I said, I'm an evangelist for cruciferous vegetables. You will never see them below an A tier for me. They're good for your colon, folks. Take care of your colon. As you get older, it becomes more and more important. Anyway. Also, like, I think not the main function of your colon, aside from making the poopies, is to absorb water. So, like, keep that thing clean. You gotta absorb water. Anyway. B tier, we got textural things largely. Bamboo shoots and bean sprouts, celery, green leaf lettuce, these things, and red cabbage, they all bring a certain crunch to a sandwich or to a soup or to a preparation. Beets are in here as well, leeks. Spinach was a surprise to me. And turnips as well. Turnips almost languished in the C tier, but through the Scottish votes and the Scottish adjacent vote, they're pushed up to B tier. C tier's got iceberg lettuce. Now, if there was butterleaf lettuce here, I think that could have gotten A tier, maybe even S tier. But we're stuck with the lettuce that we got. Like iceberg, romaine. I'm so anti-romaine because of the E. coli outbreaks that have been drawn back to it. It's like, I can't believe this thing that should be making me healthy is making me poop and puke at the same time. There's also kale here. I've only one good thing with kale in it. The rest of it is just too squeaky. I can't stand it. Radishes, I'm not a huge fan of either. I don't like them raw. Maybe they're better if you grow them, but I do like radish greens. Pumpkins, I love pumpkin pie. The community was less hot on pumpkins, and there's very few other preparations folks have for it. Sweet potatoes, shockingly, made a huge split between S tier and F tier. Huge split. So we had to put them at C. That was kind of the middle ground. Pumpkin muffins, yeah, I tell you. I'll have like 2 bites of radish and be like, this is enough for me for a year, Lurky. And watercress got demoted to C. It's, as Jess put it very funny, it is like a Tory salad. I guess it's kind of fancy British rich salad. The only occupant of F tier for the community list is black olives. So I of course disagree with that because I love black olives myself. So this is the community list. Enjoy. This is the last time you'll see it as such because we gotta move things around. All right. Let's start. I'm going to start with S tier. Artichokes, love it. Adore it. Yeah, I tell you, you're glad to see the peppers took their place at S. We got a lot of pepper fans. You know, I'm proud of you, pepper fans. You're eating a good and varied diet. You used to eat black olives on pizza and you stopped. Not sure why. Well, let me just start by saying... Although the ad break is running. Of course. Well, I'm sorry, ad viewers. You will not see me do this, but I'm sorry. Black olives are at least B tier. I will sit and eat those suckers any Thanksgiving on the Kelly family table. Down south when we celebrate with all my aunts and my cousins and everybody. They're on the table and I'm sitting there and I'm going to be talking to my cousin eating olives and cheese. All right? They belong on the table. So get out of F tier. All right? Now to look at S tier. Butternut squash. I do love a good butternut squash soup, so I'm going to keep it at S tier. It's pretty darn good, and I can't wish I grew it myself. You can only eat peppers. It is not good or varied. I'm dying. That's not true, Twaffo. You put basically every veg at S tier. You got to be eating... Let's skip the song that's talking in it. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to my song. Also great on pizza. Dude, I just love them. Just snacking on black olives. I love them. So butternut squash, you get to stay. Garlic. Garlic? Let me just... Now, I'm talking about how my feelings. I'm talking about my feelings. Garlic? Yeah. Yes. It has like antimicrobial, antifungal properties and all that stuff. It's good for your body. It's good for your immune system and stuff. Garlic is like, it's doing work. It's doing work. So it's got to be high tier. Broccoli is also high tier. Carrots are high tier. Bell peppers are high tier. I want to say though, pretty much a tie between like artichoke and anything else. I love artichoke. Can we add more S tiers or peppers and olives? I'm telling you, these peppers will be lucky to be in B tier. All right, I respect you all as a community, and that's why your vote still stands there. All right, but I'm getting to peppers. I'm taking it slow so you don't all unsubscribe at the same time. So, garlic is so tasty. It flavors everything. It's so good. I gotta hold on. Mushrooms are S tier. Corn. I love cukes because I love them fresh. I love them pickled. Corn, I'm trying to think. Yeah, love popcorn. Love it when it's dried, etc., etc. Let's deny this. I'm leaving. For you, I will keep... I gotta keep... Actually, I don't know if I'm actually gonna move any of these peppers out of here. The only thing I'm gonna move is this down to don't... I haven't tried it. That's it. That Google translated VBot ad. I believe AutoMod caught that, so nobody saw that. Tomatoes are godlike. But I think I prefer to eat straight up broccoli than straight up tomatoes. Just slightly. Sugar Snap peas. For me, I'm going to put regular peas S tier, Sugar Snap A tier. Potatoes gotta move up. I love potatoes. Potatoes just make you feel good. There's something about potatoes that makes you feel good. Now, there's also something in peppers that when you eat it, your brain is like, this is great. You get that, like, euphoria when you eat peppers and stuff. I think it's amazing. Corn, though, I do love popcorn. Even though it's not great for my teeth. I do love an ear of fresh corn. Sorry to be an American, but I do love a sweet corn. Sweet ear of corn. I might move butternut squash to A tier. I'm not sure, but hold on a second. Here comes sweet potato. Back up to S tier where it belongs. Okay? S tier. So freaking good. Full of beta carotene. It's got vitamin C. It's got all the good stuff of potatoes. Oh my god. Sweet potatoes. So good. Ah. Just a pat of butter is all you need. A little shaker of salt? Maybe. Maybe, but it's so sweet it caramelizes when you cook it. Love that. Love that. It's fibrous as well. It feels like you're full. You eat a sweet potato and maybe like a half a slice of ham. And that's dinner. You're done. You don't have to do anything else. So good. Yeah, sweet potatoes sliding up the scale, obviously. So good. I won't move the chilies. I won't move the chilies. Just as I relent to you as a democracy. Peppers can get you high if it hurts you enough. I love that. I love that idea. Tina's corny. You know I'm corny. Now Brussels sprouts. Arugula for me, it's a B tier. Sorry, arugula. You're great. You're like fun lettuce. Arugula's like, oh, I'm fancy now. You know? You need a bigger S tier. I'm moving. Listen, I love veggies. And I might freaking move onions up there. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I'm moving onion up in there. Red onion. Just because I don't like it as much in cooked applications, I can have raw white or yellow onions. And also cooked white or yellow onions. I think red onion is the highest A tier you can get, probably. Cauliflower is like... But I gotta move zooks up. And yellow squash. That's good stuff. The rest of onions gotta move up as well. Shallots might be lower A tier because of their size. Veggies in general are S tier by default. This is indeed true. Cabbage is so good. I'm trying to determine if... The one thing keeping collards from S tier for me, because they're so delicious when cooked, is the amount of time it takes to prepare them. That is a pain in the butt. Because even if you get a bag of collards and it's like, oh, we took all the stems out. There's stems in it. You have to look for the stems. You gotta pluck the leaves off the stems, and it drives me nuts. It's the only thing, the preparation's the only thing keeping it from S tier. But otherwise, so full of vitamins, very filling. You can get a bunch of it. It's great. But you can quick pickle red onions for tacos. Yeah, it is very good. That's why it's like a low S, high A for me. Plus, I love it in guacamole. I love red onions in guacamole. Asparagus. A feels right for asparagus. I'm gonna move green bell peppers to a B. Although they are good when cooked with onions. But I think I prefer just the regular red bell pepper, you know? So you found an apple, banana, and beans? Beans are maybe not on our list. Those would count for our yes, nut, and legume November. So. Eggplant, cauliflower. I'm gonna move cauliflower to B as well. I think I'd rather have... Oh, green beans go up to S tier. Because you can just throw a bag of green beans in the microwave and have a vegetable side. It's with peas, okay? You can just have veggies ready. That's amazing. You can also just pull these little suckers right off the vine, even though I'm allergic to it slightly. Just pull them right off the vine. Little Half Dead, thank you for these 64 months. I'm making controversial choices about vegetables here on the stream. Cauliflower is very meh to me. It might even be a C tier lurky. I don't like riced cauliflower. I feel like it's always mushy. I respect people who are having like cauliflower crusts because they can't do gluten, but like I would always rather have broccoli than cauliflower. You know what you have, Little Half Dead? You have the gift of neutrality, according to the whispers of the ocean. It says, balance is at work in your life. Yin and yang are opposites in energy, but rest side by side to create the gift of neutrality, like this nautilus here. What do you think Nautilus's favorite veggie is? Probably seaweed, if I had to guess. You think cauliflower crust is your jam? It's cool, yeah. Nautilus. They're so weird, aren't they? They have chambers inside their bodies to propel them up and down, depending on water pressure. How wild is that? Cauliflower served, you're like, oh, okay. Cauliflower isn't served, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. What's the vegetable? I'm never going like, no cauliflower? What, no cauliflower? You know, never like that. So it's like a B or a C tier for me. I'm gonna move red cabbage up with regular cabbage. The brassicas gotta move up. The brassicas are A tier. If you take away anything from this vegetable ranking list, it's that you need more cruciferous vegetables in your diet. I will keep banging this pot and pan right out front of your kitchen window. Just bang, 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 bang. Eat more cruciferous vegetables, please. Do it. Eggplants are fun because you get a big thing, don't you? But I do think maybe they're like B tier because you gotta treat them with salt. Otherwise, they're like wicked bitter. But eggplant parmesan, eggplant lasagna, these are good things. Brussels sprouts are so good. Wait a second. Why are Brussels sprouts on A tier? Asparagus is languishing in A tier because it does make the pea smell weird. That's a big problem. Brassicas are methane rocket propelled. In that they make you toot. Is that it? Or they're methane rocket propelled in that they gotta rise up. Cauliflower cheese? Wait, what's cauliflower cheese? I don't know anything about this. Celery? This one's for Quantum, okay? Celery's moving up, up, up. You tell Quantum Witcher. Celery's an A tier vegetable. It might go up to S tier, folks. The thing about celery is like celery, carrot, onions. That's the base of every soup you enjoy, pretty much. You like a hearty chicken noodle soup? Does that heal you? Does that make you feel better when you're sick? You're eating celery, and it's good. This is the only... I wish I could open this. Hold on. Let me see if I can copy this and put it in a different browser so it doesn't open up here. Paste. Bada bing. Cauliflower cheese. Oh, this is like a cauliflower gratin, isn't it? Asparagus affecting pea does not make... For me, it's like... Uh-oh, is there something wrong with me? Oh, wait, no, I just ate asparagus earlier. Right, forgot. The pea smell is a bigger factor for you. It, like, as somebody who's, like, has some health issues, I'm like, whenever, like, pea goes weird, I'm like, what is happening to my body? Oh, I just ate a different vegetable today. Cauliflower cheese might be more informative. It's a traditional British dish. It could be eaten as a main course for lunch or dinner. Peas of cauliflower are lightly boiled and covered in a milk-based cheese sauce, for which a mature cheese such as cheddar is preferred. That does sound very good. I respect this mash. Actually, I would eat cauliflower this way. However, it might defeat the purpose of having a healthy cauliflower, wouldn't it? Covered in cheese and milk. I respect that, though. I'm gonna see, is there anything else here that needs to be moved up? Did I move the thing I was threatening to move up? I think I did. Bamboo shoots, bean sprouts, these textural things, they're good for me. Lettuce, sure. Leeks. The sandiness of leeks can be kind of frustrating. Spinach! Gotta be A tier. High in vitamins. Turns into a noodle when you put it into a soup. You can blitz it and put it in a sauce and no one will know. I would do that all the time to my folks growing up when my brother was like kind of less into health. He was wicked into health now. He loves his veg, he loves his fiber, he loves his chia seeds. But when he was less into veg, I would just like blitz it in the blender, just blend it up in a blender or food processor and then put it into tomato sauce, and the deep rich color totally negated any flecks of green in it, so nobody knew they were eating spinach. Where is the eggplant or aubergine ranked? I have it at A. What do you think about that, Mikey? You learned a lot about vegetables. I'm glad to hear it. Cauliflower cheese. You're salivating. You'd eat a lactate or two for it. I would like to give it a try. So it's balanced. You got your cauliflower and you got your cheese. You used to eat cauliflower cheese and your mom is from the UK. That was back when your stomach would eat food. Yeah. Now you can't do that anymore. Harmless. You're more of a salad type. As you walk to the fridge to collect your customary, I'm watching Tina block of cheese. You hear me scream, spinach! Spinach has to move up, mash. The only thing I don't like is sometimes it can be gritty. It's a little gritty. It's a little Philadelphia gritty, you know, like the big fuzzy orange man that plays hockey. It's a little gritty sometimes when you cook it in a pan, but I just I get through that. I just get through it. But if I'm eating in a soup, then love it. Love the texture. No grit to that. Yeah, it's like kale, but polite. Kale is just like elbowing you as it goes down. You're like, oh my god, I can feel... It's like eating a scrubbing pad off of a sponge, you know? But I do love you have a... I'm watching Tina block of cheese. That's great. I would love to hear anybody else's food traditions when they watch the show. So you eat cauliflower, broccoli, tomato, and pepper for dinner. That's great, but no cheese. I got you. You love kale. I've had it in a salad and I'm sorry, I've had it in a soup and I thought it was okay, but for me, that's a C tier. I might move iceberg up to a B tier just because it's in traditional salad mixes and I'm okay with that. But romaine, go to hell, actually, because how dare you, romaine lettuce? You go to hell, romaine lettuce. You and your E. coli outbreaks. People are trying to eat healthy over here, and these damn hearts of romaine are giving people E. coli, so they're like pooping and puking at the same time. No, thank you. Actually, if I want food poisoning, I'll go like leave some sushi out in the sun instead of trying to eat a salad and do something good for my body. All right? Romaine, hell. E. coli, F tier. Terrible. Spinach, you can saute it. I don't ever eat it raw because my mom is against that. But you can cook the E. coli off of anything. You eat it in a raw romaine. Shame on you, romaine. Shame on you. My apologies to any romaine growers, but y'all gotta get it together. How are you poisoning people with lettuce? That's wild. That is bonkers. Every other year, to be fair, romaine lettuce has some sort of E. coli outbreak. But yes, Morphinius, puking. It is like a US thing, yeah. Apparently it's been a problem in the UK. I just can't get down with it. It's evil to me. I'll never buy romaine lettuce. We used to buy it growing up, and then there was the E. coli outbreak, and then a year later another E. coli outbreak. It deals with the way it is grown, with like animal feces getting on it. Gross. That's gross. Turnips, I'm gonna put down here in the never tried it, now that I think of it, because I haven't. So it's on my list of stuff to try. I do want to try it. And you know what? I might actually move beets down here too, because I haven't had them since I was a kid. I don't remember. You get a pressure washer for your Caesar salads. There you go. So eat kale for salads. I've never had kale raw, is the thing. Turnips are a currency. They are. In Animal Crossing, indeed. Or they're like stocks. I haven't had beets. My mom loves pickled beets. But I had them once as a kid and didn't like them. So what I want to do, almost, is grow them. That way I can pickle them. I can roast them. I can slice them. How do you like them? How do you like them? What ways do you enjoy your beets? So kale is going to stick at C until I have more of it. Radishes. Radishes are a C tier thing because I do enjoy a little bit of it at a time, and then I get kind of sick of it at a salad. Watercress, I don't know enough about it. I don't think I've had watercress myself. Pumpkin, though. It's October, y'all. It's just wrong to not put it at A tier. This is the reason for the season. Okay? Pumpkin. Why are we doing this? It's pumpkin time. It's Halloween's. I'm gonna go buy several pumpkins and then put funny little faces on them and put them on my porch. Because I am nothing if not festive. So pumpkins are an A tier veg. Sure, I'm not reaching for it often, but this time of year, if I don't have my pumpkin pie, it's like, I don't know, it's like a loss. I feel something is amiss. Like my ancestors are weeping if I don't have pumpkin, you know? So I gotta move it to A tier. For me, it's like, it's important. Pumpkin's important. It's just important. Okay, all of the above. Pickle the beets, roast the beets, steam the beets, salad the beets, soup the beets. Soup, oh, like borscht, huh? So this is my tier list, okay? Mine. This is how I feel. Well, let me just make sure everything is in the right order, though. I'm gonna make sure this is in the right order. God, I love it. I love green olives. They're S tier. Green olives are S tier. Because I could just sit down and make myself sick eating them. They're S tier. God bless green olives. I'll have them for breakfast. I'll have them for lunch. I'll have them as a snack. I'll have them with dinner. Love green olives. It's just right. Okay, it's just right. This feels right for A tier. B tier. I'll move sugar snap peas up. I will move the black olives up, obviously. Where are my sugar snap peas? Here they are. Green bell peppers I'll move up as well. Cauliflower. Iceberg lettuce. I think the other things are like situational textural things. Honestly, I've only had leek once. You know, I'm going to put it down here in the need to try it again thing. I feel good about this. This is my tier list. My tier list. So, that's where the green olives belong, okay? In S tier. You say that when I skip a pumpkin in October that my kin ain't pumping? I would actually not say that. Not say that, Snake. I wouldn't. You're looking at olives in the fridge. You're full after your cheese block. The olives are calling. Have some green olives with your cheddar. Why not? Congrats on your right tier list. Thank you. I feel good about it. You know, when I show this to my parents, they're going to say, you're right, Tina. And we raised you well. You know, that's what my folks are going to say when they see this. Completely agree with this. The only difference is you'd put radishes in lower A. I gotta have more radishes. Maybe I need to try them in different preparations, but this is my list. Okay? If you take away anything from this, aside from that you should eat more cruciferous vegetables, there's a lot of different preparations for veggies. You know, there's things you may not have heard of before or tried before. Not just like, oh, I've never heard of shishito pepper before, but you might have been like, oh, you can do that with zucchini? I had no idea. Oh, you can do that with peas? That's amazing. You can steam an artichoke and just eat them dang leaves. Just sort of scrape the bottom of the leaves with a little bit of lemon and a butter. That's great stuff. The kale is a crime. I'm sorry. I will make it an effort to eat more kale. For you, Harmless, because I'll grow it. I'll grow it myself. Where did habanero wind up? Habaneros that they didn't try, don't know. I have not had a lot of habaneros myself, so I can't unfairly rank it. However, the rest of the peppers are still in S tier because I appreciate culturally what they do for us. I appreciate the spice that they bring meals. I do like a good jalapeno in certain contexts and stuff, so I put habanero down there because I'm not even sure I've had a habanero. Cabbage is S tier. I feel like wrong. No, I feel good with it being with the other brassicas in A tier. They're godlike. They really are. But it does take a teeny bit of prep that it's like, yeah, you know. Peas is a rare non-spicy food you don't like. Except for split pea soup. Are you actually my mom? Because my mom is the same way. I was just talking to her about this when I visited her for our, the feeding the dog break. Yep. I'd say this is a right honest tier list right here. It's looking good. It's looking very good. I think it's right. I think I could, like, literally, if you told me, okay, everything that's in S tier is, that's all you can eat for the rest of your life. Actually, if I said that, I'm bringing cabbage up. Okay, now if you told me that I can only eat the stuff that's in S tier, I'm good. This is like, I can't live without this tier. Everything else, like, if you said this is all you can grow, I could make food for the rest of my life, I think, with this tier list. I could. I mean, with A tier, that's basically 2/3 of the tier list, but still. You don't think you are my mom unless there's an Empire Strikes Back revelation coming up. I'm sure my mom is not watching my Twitch channel at 8:23 p.m. Probably. But you do both like Star Trek, which is great. You get along very well with my mom. But this looks good to me. We had to have a brassica in the S tier. Aside from broccoli, I guess. Yeah. Sorry. But this looks good. I like it a lot. Yeah. This sits right on my soul. So there's that. There's your veg. Please do eat a variety of various vegetables. Veggies are good. They taste good. They're very flavorful. If you've had vegetables before in the past and you haven't liked them, it's probably the preparation. It might have been boiled, which removes a lot of the vitamin content and a lot of the flavor. It also ruins the texture, makes things very mushy. The only good veggie, in my opinion, that you can boil is a potato. I don't know if I like any other veg boiled. I don't even think you should boil a sweet potato. I don't like boiling sweet potatoes because then when you mash it, it doesn't taste like a sweet potato anymore. You should roast it. Roasting is a great preparation. Pan frying is a great preparation for these. There are so many fantastic resources about how to eat veggies. I didn't do this spiel for you all when we did our fruit thing because fruits, you can fall out of a tree and eat a fruit and you'd be fine. Might have been calling out the British. A lot of folks also were taught that's the simplest or best way to prepare veg, you know, Twafo. So, might be what it says in the package instructions, but you don't always have to eat that way. If you can't eat it raw, try roasting it. That's my advice. I wish I could drink some water, Lurky, but I'm out. Actually, there's a little in here. It's old water, though, from yesterday. You saw both finalists. What do you think about this one, Quantum? I moved the celery up for you. I did it for you, Quantum. Although I can't do it now. Actually, I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm going to move celery to S tier because it, onion, and carrot are... It's the trio. It's the three sisters that make everything delicious. So there you go. Now that's my final list. Oh, wait, you didn't get to see it, though. Hold on one second. There we go. This is truly my final list. Actually, really.